Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Reel Debaters podcast. I am Michael Petrow. Hello, listener. This week on the show, we're mass debating about our favorite moms. I know that is a weird sentence to say, but that's why we coined the phrase. What do I mean by that? We have got a Mother's Day debate. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend is the celebratory day of all the best moms on the planet. Yours, mine, everybody's in between. So we decided, don't forget the moms on screen. So we're doing a whole debate about it. We got 16 moms. We're doing a round-robin single elimination tournament. That is myself, Martin, and Jimmy. And I would just like to say a big thank you to the audience picks, the people in our universe. We put 4 moms out there for the crowd to vote on. And we got callbacks from Chrissy Latimer, Mark's love, Zoe Whitman, Jimmy's love, Claudia Orlana, Charles's love. I know there's a theme here. And then Denise Darling, no one on the show. Well, I love Denise. Denise, you fucking rock, but you have a husband, so needless to say, no need to say it. So, yeah, we've got 4 audience picks that we argue on behalf. Some of us knew some of these moms. Some of us didn't. We handed out the moms accordingly. It's weird to say mom in so many different variables. So that's what's on the show. We're going to debate from 16 down to 1. As soon as one gets knocked out, 2 of us are arguing. 1 of us is judging. It's a lot of fun. And then we talk about moments in our life where our moms should, like, our moms did a thing that should maybe be on screen or could relate to something that you've seen in a film or a show. So anyways, that's who's on the show. That's what's on the show. I got no real big events. We've got no real big events coming. Again, thank you to everybody who came out to trivia a couple weeks ago. Super fucking solid of you. Cal, you're awesome. Little Brown Jug, you're awesome. You make delicious drinks. And thank you for hosting us. So again, stay tuned for stuff like that. We've got more trivia coming. We've got some movies in the park this summer we're going to try to get back to. We're working on that right now. Just basically, we're trying to be out and about more this summer, right? Because in Manitoba, we get like 3 good months of summertime. So we want to take this show out of my smelly studio and out into the world to meet you guys. So the only way you can find out about that, though, is first thing, subscribe to the show. Each week we'll tell you about what we're doing. So your podcast player, the one you're listening to right now, follow, smash whatever button it is that guarantees the Reel Debaters will be in your podcast player each week. And then Reel Debaters on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and YouTube. YouTube is at RD Podcast Shorts if you just want to catch some of the funnier moments of the show and you like the shorter content form. Content. Or Twitter and Instagram at Reel Debaters Pod. REEL is the spelling for all this stuff, by the way. That's where the show's always being advertised, all the clips as well there, too. And then the Reel Debaters Podcast on Facebook for events and things we like to be a part of there. There's a little bit of everything for everybody. Subscribe to it all, and you're in the debater-verse, as we've coined it. The link in the bio to Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook takes you to everybody else's stuff. So if you like Jimmy's comedy, if you are into comics and want to talk to Mark about where to start comic book collecting, if you're into dodgeball and want to watch Emily, she plays National Dodgeball. She's kick-ass. Ian and Diamond from the show, our unofficial official mascot. Everybody shits there at the link in the bio on all of those major social media sites. So that's that. We give you some of our favorite moms. Jimmy said don't direct the hate mail towards him this week, which obviously means send it to me post haste, carrier pigeon that shit over, and I'll make sure he reads it. We'll pin him down and read it to him. I've got nothing else, so I'll cue that reel. And you enjoy the show.
Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome, everybody, to the official space section of the chart.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Sir, you're out of order.
Out of order? I show you out of order!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Reel Debaters podcast. I am Michael Petrow. Hello, listener. Joining me in studio is...
the Pope's Antichrist.
and out in Vancouver.
Big sumo wrestler.
Oh shit! I hope is that in reference to what you watched?
I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it today on the show.
Oh,
That's what did you watch? I just started
sweet.
watching it today, and I was like, I'm talking about it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know. This will all make sense very soon to you, Jimmy, and listener. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Reel Debaters podcast. I'm taking your intros from the Pope's Exorcist.
Yes.
How was the Pope's Exorcist?
It was better than I thought it would be.
Sweet. And we're going to talk about that this week, I
Yes.
imagine? Awesome. All right, let's get
You
into
really
it.
held on to those last 3 words.
Pause for...
I thought it would be terrible garbage.
You sound like Al Gore from The Simpsons. It's time for a celebration. Let's
The
celebrate.
key
He
is-
puts on the record.
The infliction or the inflection in the middle of the sentence, not at the end.
Not like walking at the end where it
It's
goes
like
up, right?
Somebody does a bit where the weird kid always swallows in the middle of his sentence. Like, hey, do you guys want to go to the Dairy Queen?
How was your weekend?
Awful.
Now that you swallowed into my ear, it's awful.
What
Oh,
was in
shit.
your mouth when you started the sentence but couldn't get it to the end?
Yeah, and why didn't you swallow before you started talking?
Disgusting.
So many weird things. All right. Hello, listener. You're in for a treat. We got a debate for you today. And it's themed because now we're sitting down and we're planning these things and we're like, what happens in May?
Yeah.
What's the big deal in May? Mother's Day is a big deal in May. And Jimmy was like, we should do Mother's Day debate. So this is the best on-screen mom debate. TV.
Doing our bracket. We've got the best dog already down. We got best mom. We got best dad. We're going to form a nuclear family.
We are, yeah. We actually, no, we haven't done, we're doing Dad next month.
Next
but we
month,
have
yep.
we have funniest comedy scene. We have best dog and best, what was the other one?
Brackets are popular.
Brackets are very popular. They're easy. Low production over here, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we're going to do. We got 16 of them. And the cool thing is we got 4 crowd picks today. So we're going to argue on their behalf. We're going to
You can't just get mad at us.
Yeah, you can get. We will name these people. They will be outed. First name only, but you probably know them. And before we get into it, there are certain people in this room who have up and coming things that you really should know about in Winnipeg and Vancouver. So Martin, you go first.
We're back on May 21st at Clue Club. We have the very funny Dion Arnold headlining. He's toured across the country. He's done Winnipeg Comedy Festival. He's also gone all the way down south and done the Melbourne Comedy Festival as well.
Nice.
So really excited to have him on the show. It's going to be a good time. We also have someone doing their first 5 minutes. Very funny industry person,
exciting.
hospitality industry personality, doing their first 5 minutes. Big Ed works at Brandy's Vancouver. Good buddy of mine. So come out.
What's up, Big
Come
Ed?
out. It's going to be fun.
First 5 minutes. That's going to feel like an hour.
Get your tickets early.
We had
These ones
someone
always
on
sell
last
out.
month who did their first 5 minutes, and he was the Red Bull rep of Canada or Vancouver, and he did really well for his first 5 minutes set. Like,
Hell yeah.
So are you doing like
Like a bomb.
are you doing like a hospitality thing on purpose where you're finding
I'm doing, we're kind of doing because I we have a big long history with the hospitality industry, Michael. So I have
Yeah.
a lot of friends here in the hospitality industry. So I'm just having like a hospitality guest every month doing their first 5 minutes, and I'm trying to
That's
kind
a
of
nice idea.
bridge the
This
two
is a
industries
solid
together.
idea. That's
Yeah.
a really good idea. Cool. So yeah, May 21st, you can follow Martin by following us. If you go to the Reel Debaters Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook page for all of us here, there's a link in the bio that has Jimmy's comedy, Martin's comedy. So if you're in Vancouver and you want to know what's going on, you can just follow him directly and say fuck off to the Reel Debaters if you really feel like it. Don't, but you could.
Yep.
And then same thing for Jimmy. And Jimmy, what are you doing?
We're doing Laughs and Gaffs again, June 10th, and it's Milan's birthday show. So if you're a friend of Milan or you just like Milan as a person, you're going to want to see this one. And always get your tickets early. It's rush seating, so get there early, have some drinks, you know.
Yeah, drinks, food.
Buy him some shots.
That's
Get him
right.
drunk.
Can we get Milan drunk?
Let's get Milan hammered.
Can we make it a drunk
His
show?
parents live in Selkirk. He's got a way home.
Yeah, there you go. He can get picked up by his mom. At the
That's
end.
right.
It's the Red River Walk of
Well,
Shame.
they'll be there. They'll be at the show.
Oh, the ride's already there.
Exactly.
Seriously.
It's going to be a good show. We got some great comics. It's going to be great.
Milan, you should charge for rides home and treat your parents like an Uber that night
That's right.
for 2 people to get back to Selkirk with you. That's an idea. But yeah, so there you go. Laughs at Gaffs. So you can follow all that stuff through our social media. Again, the link in our bio: Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. The Reel Debaters Podcast on Facebook. It's Reel Debaters Pod on Twitter and Instagram. And all
Just
the spell.
swallowed in the middle of your
I
sentence.
didn't I? So that's where that comes from.
It was just so natural to you.
No kidding. I'm that guy. Oh, my God. If you can't find the idiot at the poker table, you're the idiot. Oh, I'm the swallower. That's not the name I want.
Hey, Mike the Swallower Petrow is his new nickname
If
for the
I come
show.
out to the ring, if I was a wrestler,
The
the swallower. What does he even do? Does he wrap himself like an anaconda and
You know,
eat me?
Not everyone's got a great gimmick, but you'll make it work.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
swallow
He swallows
in the
really
middle
well.
of my sentence. Anyways, Reel Debaters Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and follow all the shit. That's where Mark Stringbean Comics is. Ian and Diamond, if you want to follow them on TikTok. All that stuff is there for you to.
We are
stay in
so
the know.
thankful to be associated with Ian and Diamond because it just makes us a little bit more popular.
It is not
And
the
animals
reason
do that.
he's on
You
the
gotta
show.
associate yourselves with animals.
But Diamond does
Diamond
bring.
is quite popular and has her own show coming. So
She does, yeah. So if you like a one-eyed, gorgeous Labrador dog, who's
just
the
know
sweetest-
she's associated with Reel Debaters.
Yes, remember when you watch the show to
Don't
subscribe.
forget.
I want Ian to put like a subscribe to the Real Debaters, like read.
We'll
thing
get
at the
'em.
bottom.
We'll get
one
'em.
of the episodes.
One of these days.
We got to be on that show.
Yep.
Like seriously, we need Ian. I know you don't listen. None of us listen to our own show, but
I
like,
do.
Well, you know, hey, when you cut the show, you don't listen to it anymore
Yeah, it's
after,
true. You've
right?
listened to it dozens of times.
I listen to it on the plane.
Yeah, right. I would hope that
I download and listen on the plane.
I know Mark doesn't like the sound of his own voice. I think so. He doesn't, and Rob's just too fucking busy, right? Like I gotta sell Samsungs. How the fuck am I gonna listen to the show?
It
Anyways,
does sound just like him.
I'm rambling.
I got kids to feed. I gotta sell Samsung. That's my Rob impression. I don't know how he turned so like southern United
That's
States.
very good.
All right, let's get into it. Martin, let's start with you. What'd you watch this week, dude?
I just started watching this morning, and I haven't been able to stop. Sanctuary on Netflix. See, there's this thing. There's a problem with Netflix where I always wonder, like, what the fuck do I have a Netflix subscription for? Then
Same.
this show comes on, I'm like, oh, this is why.
Yep.
It's the first season, so it's basically about a story about the Japanese sumo culture.
Sick.
Yeah.
So it starts off with this guy who comes from a broken home, a little bit of a delinquent, goes into sumo just to make money to help support his family.
Yep.
Is what he does. And it's just him kind of making from the starting from the ground up. So it's if you like those underdog stories, that's what you watch this for. And it also how do I say this? He plays the heel of the character, so because sumo originally is very, very formal. You're not supposed to be eccentric or anything like that,
Right.
but this character is very eccentric, so he's kind of breaking that mold. And it's his story of how he how the culture itself is accepting to him, but they're not accepting right now because no one. He's breaking all the rules. Basically, is
Right.
what he's doing. He's a bad boy. He's in sumo. That's the story. It's great. Watch it with the original Japanese,
Of course.
and subtitles.
Of course.
Because the English voices are too wacky. I did it with the English voices this morning. I was so lazy. I was like, I want to read. I'm too tired. But yeah, watch it with the original Japanese. It's good.
Is it safe to say he's like the Hulk Hogan of the sumo world?
I would say he's more of the heel. He plays
Hollywood
more of the heel.
Hulk
So
Hogan.
I would
Hollywood
say,
Hulk Hogan. There you go.
yeah, the NWO,
NWO, you got it.
NWO Hulk Hogan. That's more him.
That's bad
Yeah.
guy Hulk.
That's
Yeah.
sweet. No, I saw the trailer for it the other day, and I was like, I know very little about sumo, but I know sumo is ingrained in the culture. And
Oh,
it's
I know nothing about sumo, but I mean, that's why you watch the show because I'm like, you know about it. You're like, oh, it's a really interesting kind of. They show you the ins and outs of what it takes to be a sumo because they go through the training it requires.
Yeah.
they were
A lot of the
showing-
things people sacrifice in order to achieve greatness in sumo. So
Well, and with like the honor and it's deep ingrained in a history of like the best and I saw this on Andrew Zimmern's Bizarre Foods.
Yeah.
He was in Japan and he went to a sumo college for lunch.
Do they still huck rice at him?
Probably.
yeah, you know what? I think it's I can't remember the exact number, but I think it's sumo hasn't changed in the last 1,500 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like it's they do not bend the rules. This is what it is. It's
The
rooted
training,
in
the
its ancient
technique,
tradition.
everything
Yeah.
hasn't changed in the
when
last.
I was a kid, we had a channel that if you were watching at 3, 4 a.m., you could get sumo wrestling, and my God, was it entertaining.
Was it ESPN the Ocho?
No, it's when we had a Star Choice satellite dish in the
Was
backyard.
it the one you'd get coded with cards
Yeah.
and shit?
Oh,
And
yeah.
they'd buzz you, and then you have to get a whole new card.
Yep.
No, none of us did that here. Is there any sort of like criminal aspect to it, Martin? Like, because I understand it's there's the gambling side
no,
of it.
I-
and- yeah,
I'm
it's
not
rigged.
I'm not into the whole I'm not I think I'm only maybe 5 episodes in, but
Okay.
there's nothing I didn't see anything regarding the Yakuza yet or anything like that. But there is criminal elements into it, and there's some corruption, and you do see some of the corruption in the actual the management side of the sumo.
Yeah.
Sure,
world and
yeah,
stuff like that,
because
so
it's like any
you'll see
fighting
some of that.
style.
Yeah.
You've got to, once you get a manager, the Don King of sumo.
So the goal is to push your opponent out of the ring, right?
I think
Or
so.
make them fall.
Okay, and you're allowed to like slap and pull and push.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They showed when Andrew Zimmern sat down for lunch with these guys. The one favorite cook of them all. It's this standard soup that they eat, and it's like a 2,000 calorie bowl of soup. It's just like fat and chicken, and it looks
It's
delicious.
crazy. You should see. Like the best part about it is like the eating. So whatever they're eating, like they just eat so fast and so much, just because they're on a tight schedule.
Yeah, they gotta go.
Also, too,
Gotta push.
they only cook a certain amount, so you want to eat. The more you eat, the faster you eat, the more you can eat. So you want to ensure that you're getting the most calories. And obviously, like the higher ranked guys will eat first, and then the lower ranked guys will kind of eat last. So,
Yeah, Sean.
the training is the best part. Like it's insane. I didn't know this about sumo, but like the way it happens is you live at the dojo
Yeah.
and you train there constantly, and you live, you sleep. You gotta go away
live
from
the
your
sumo.
family if you have a family. So. Yeah, you live there, you eat there, you train there, you sleep there. And then tournaments I didn't know like tournaments last like 2 weeks.
Jesus.
14 days. It's a bracket tournament. So they do brackets and they have all the different divisions of sumo, and basically
Is it like weight class?
no, it's by like skill. So you get what you do
boy.
is you start off at the bottom level. And then if you get enough wins, you get promoted to the next level, and then the next level, and the next level, and then until you eventually become like Yokozuna, which is like the ultimate, the top of the food chain
Yokozuna.
of sumo, the champion. Yeah, not just of a WWE character, an actual title in Japanese sumo, Yokozuna.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, neither did I. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. I think it's like 9 episodes or something like that. The typical Netflix show.
Yeah.
I think they're like 45-minute episodes each. So
How
really
many?
cool.
How many sumo diapers out of 10 do you give it?
I'm gonna give it like an 8.
Love that.
8 diapers out of 10, maybe 8.5, close to that, somewhere between there.
I'm gonna watch it. I added it to my list of things.
Dude, you'll love it, Mike.
It does
You'll
sound
love it.
intriguing.
Yeah, I
If
love.
you like sports
Yeah.
stories,
I
or
do.
sports, it's good. If you
I
it
do.
showcases a Japanese sport, which I didn't know a lot about, but I knew about.
about.
But yeah, check it out, man.
All right, cool. Yeah, definitely. Big bowls of rice, high calorie dinners.
Mm-hmm.
It's every day here.
Sounds great.
What'd you watch, dude?
I watched The Pope's Exorcist.
So
it was weird.
you have
but
to
great.
you have to answer for everybody because we've all seen.
Is that Russell Crowe?
That's
It
Russell
is.
Crowe.
Mm.
First question I have to ask Beyond.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. I'm just malfunctioning.
Are you stroking out?
On behalf of everybody who's seen Thor: Love and Thunder,
Okay.
how much of an Italian accent did Russell Crowe do?
He does a full-on Italian accent.
Like,
and it's not distracting.
Is it good? Good.
The movie was great. He's funny. Like, it's just...
What's the story?
So the
Start there.
story is a family moves to Italy into this new home that they've inherited after their father, or after the father of the family passes away. This
Check.
is the last thing that he has, so they're moving to Italy to fix up this house and then sell it. The house is possessed by a demon. Demon possesses boy, calls for priest.
Wash, rinse, repeat.
They get the Pope's exorcist.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why do they get the Pope's exorcist so fast?
Because that's the specific guy the demon asked for.
Really?
Now, I don't know if this story in particular is any truth to it or not, but the Pope's exorcist is a real person. He's a real guy. This is somebody that actually goes and performs exorcisms. But they explain in the movie 90%, not even 90%, 95% of the time, it's not an actual exorcism that's needed. It's psychology that's needed. The
Interesting.
person just needs to... I'll give you the beginning of the movie.
It's like schizophrenic.
Yeah, it's things like that. And the Pope's exorcist, he knows these things. Like, he's not an idiot. He understands these things, and he's not going to give someone an exorcism when they don't actually need it. So at the start of the movie, this guy says he's...
It's a moral doctor.
Yeah, exactly. This guy says he's possessed, and he's doing all the usual demon things, like screaming, I'll fuck your mother kind of stuff. So he walks in, he brings a pig in with him, and he convinces the guy that he has to possess this pig. He's like, oh, I don't think you could actually do it. He uses reverse psychology on him. So he gets the guy to act like he's leaving his body and moving into the pig, and as soon as that's done, they shoot the pig, and the guy is no longer possessed, quote unquote.
So they tricked him.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So he explains that, yes, I did shoot a pig for this, but it's because I had to do it for this. And It's just so interesting. The movie's way more than I thought it was, and obviously the family does actually get possessed, and he does need to perform an exorcism, and it's just more than I ever thought it could be.
I'm happy that happened.
Yeah.
I thought that was one more like angry road driver movie in the line of Russell Crowe movies.
He was pretty hinged in this.
Really?
Yeah, he was very hinged.
Was he hinged or was he a hinged?
He was a hinged.
Did
He
they
was
eat the
fantastic.
pig after?
I hope so. I hope. Well, I don't know. Would you eat demon pig?
I don't know. But if it's a fake demon pig, maybe.
Yeah.
Depends on how crusty that skin is, man. I mean, I have no problems eating a demon pig.
And they set it up for a sequel.
They obviously.
The movie takes place
The
in
title
the
is
80s.
worthy of a sequel. The Pope's Exorcist 1, 2, 3, 17.
It's a job that he actually did, and he performed hundreds of exorcisms. And I told you guys in the chat, there is a hotline that you can call at the Vatican for exorcisms.
I
Make
thought
sure
you
you
were
know somebody
kidding.
who could speak Italian. That is not a joke. That is a real thing that you can do. They will remove curses. They will perform exorcisms.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. So, if you're feeling like you're possessed, give them a call.
I watched another movie. I think it's The Last Exorcism or The Last Exorcist. I can't remember the title, but it's the same thing. Like he's a con man, and he sets up rooms that give the illusion that an exorcism has been performed.
Like the Brothers Grimm.
Exactly. Very, very, very long con, right? But then he stumbles upon a real exorcism. And he's like, I don't have the tools to deal with this.
Well, this guy actually does.
Yeah, it's the
He's-
reverse
he's
part of
the guy.
The guy.
Yeah.
And like, is there because like I grew up Catholic, so I think all of the stuff that the Catholic
I think
Church
it would hit
is-
hard for you.
Okay.
I think it might trigger you a little bit, but as someone who's not really much of a Jesus person, it had me.
My trigger moments are private wine tastings in the rectory. If there's none of that, I'm fine. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
There's so much rectory in this movie.
Do you ever wonder why they call it the rectory?
Oh, no.
I don't know why either, but I think calling a room that's very similar to the rectum.
Well, they couldn't call it the E-rectory.
No, no, they couldn't. No, they couldn't.
I give this a 7.
Yeah?
I think it was super fun. I don't know if you have to go see it in theaters. I'm glad that I did. I think you could wait for it to come out at home, but definitely give it a watch. And it's not so much scary as it is fucking weird.
Is it almost horror comedy?
I wouldn't say it's. There are funny parts, and Russell Crowe is funny in it, but
Okay.
it's definitely not a comedy.
7 possessed pigs? 7 demon pigs?
7 demon pigs out of 10.
I like it. I dig it. I want to see it. I mean, Gladiator, right?
Yeah,
Beautiful Mind, right? Like, I'm
the man can act,
The man can act. What was the boxer one he did?
and every time he's on that little Vespa, everybody in the theater stood up and applauded for a full 2 minutes.
Serious?
Yeah, every single time. I think he was on it 3-4 times. Everybody stood up. We all clapped. We all cheered. They paused the movie.
Did all of a sudden someone from Vespa walk in and be like, "We're offering low interest rates
It
on
went
your
a
next
full
Vespa"?
4 hours with pauses and cheering. With
We're at the
ovations.
Cannes Film Festival for
We-
this.
You can't. It's the perfect scene when you see Russell Crowe on a small Vespa.
It's gonna be a meme in like a minute, isn't it?
Yep.
Is he wearing a white scarf?
No, he wears a lot of black.
Does he have the full dress garb with the collar?
He's cool and he's nonchalant and he doesn't give a shit, but he does. It's just he's the cool exorcist.
You're selling this, man. I really want to see this.
Worth a watch for sure.
Well, I'm gonna go somewhere happy and positive. Parallel, I'd say Ted Lasso adjacent, if
Okay.
you will. Oh shit!
Oh no, Coach Carter,
The Big Door Prize on Apple is what I've been watching.
Mr. Apple TV.
Mr. Apple TV over here. Yeah. Apple
What's that big door prize? Is that like a...
Chris O'Dowd.
Love him.
Love him. Chris O'Dowd leads a stellar cast of. It's a small town, and in this small town, in their local hardware store, a machine shows up. I can't remember the name of the machine right now, but if you put your, this is where it gets a little like it's happy, but it's also weird and funny at the same time. So if you put your fingerprints on the machine,
Yep.
and you put your fingerprints on the machine, put in your social security number, and
Security.
and sit there for a couple seconds, it will pop out a card that tells you your life's potential.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Would you want to know?
And everybody already in this town has some sort of dealings with each other, and their potentials are now interfering with their relationships with each other, how they interact.
Yeah.
Like Chris O'Dowd's marriage is now kind of being questioned because his potential isn't the same as his wife's potential. But inside of this is this really funny slapstick comedy that takes place in this small town, and it at its core, it's about finding out what you're good at, what you want to do with your life, and all that stuff, while having a really fun watch at the same time. And it doesn't have any dread to it. It doesn't have.
That's nice.
It's
like The Good Place.
like The Good Place, like Ted Lasso. Like
Yeah.
it's a scary conversation, but done in a fun way, done in a demeaning way, not done in a dreadful. Oh my God, it's existential, right?
Yeah.
Chris O'Dowd's fucking genius, and he plays a chemistry teacher who's also a basketball coach, and he's like all this. It's one of those like there's like 20 people all involved in the story. The priest, his card is father, but does it mean he was destined to be a
Just
priest?
means he was meant to be a dad. Yeah.
Right, and then you go into the priest's backstory, and then you find out that there's a relationship between O'Dowd's daughter and a local kid that has a lot more depth to it, and when you find out. You'd question yourself. Would you be able to do what this couple has done inside of their relationship? Like everybody's questioning stuff.
Yeah.
But it's really fun, and it's weekly. Like I'm strapped to watching it every Wednesday. I can't binge this shit, so I'm on a weekly schedule, like Mando and all the other things that come out.
Yeah.
I love it. Like I really.
It's worked its way in.
It's worked its happy. Easy television has worked its way into my life. The cynic that
It's a series,
am.
Mike?
It's a series, yeah. It's like a 10-episode
Okay.
series on and Big Door Prize. And
Are they all out, or is it like weekly?
it's weekly.
Weekly.
You're not gonna. You still have like 2 or 3 more episodes, I think. So you could binge
Okay.
like 5 or 6 right
Get
now.
caught up.
Okay, maybe
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
and each episode is like someone's potential in the town, right?
Huh.
So you start with like Chris O'Dowd, and he's the antagonist. He doesn't want the machine. He wants the machine to leave. He
Yeah.
likes his life the way it is, and his wife, whose potential is royalty. But what does that mean?
Yeah.
right?
What like if you were born that way, like if you were born into that family, sure.
Yeah, or does it mean you ascend to royalty
Yeah.
somehow? Do you marry up?
You
And
win the lottery. Yeah.
right? There's Giorgio, who do you guys remember on She-Hulk, the idiot lawyer?
Yeah.
He's in
Yep.
it.
Oh.
He plays he's hanging on to his glory days of being a hockey player for like some low-ranked team.
Oh.
And he opened the local sports bar, which is like an Italian-themed sports bar. Has like a gondola
Oh.
in it.
A
And
lot of
shit.
Italians
Right?
this week.
He is so brilliant at his role, and it's good, it's fun, and it does question things, but you'll walk away from it. You'll walk away from it smiling, and then asking what your potential is. And
What do you think your potential would be, Mike?
I think something along the lines would come out of. I think it would say conversation. I would say that that would somehow attach to my ability to
Winnipeg
not shut.
icon.
No. I'm not Rod Peeler. I'm
How
not
many-
Gary
how many
Philbin. I
doors
didn't lose a
out
hockey
of 10?
team, right? How many? You know what? I'll give it
Doors.
cards, potential cards.
Okay.
There's a great bit too where like the kids steal the blank cards and then write whatever they want on them and fuck with people.
Yeah.
But I'll give it like eight potential cards out of 10.
Nice.
That's a solid must watch.
Yeah.
That's a solid. I will likely watch it.
It's Chris O'Dowd, right? Like IT room, like
IT crowd.
Thank you,
crowd.
IT crowd. Thank you. Sorry, I'm thinking of the room I hate being in at
Cloverfield
work.
paradox.
Cloverfield paradox. The cop in the Kristen Wiig bride
Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids plays the
Bridesmaids.
cop, right? Who's like trying to get her to go back and bake
Think
again and
so.
stuff. Yeah, he's in it.
Okay.
Yeah, Shauna loves Chris O'Dowd. So, yeah,
Fantastic.
watch the Big Door Prize.
Nice.
Big
No
Big Door.
movies. I'm going to see Guardians on Tuesday, so I'll have a movie next week.
I haven't seen it yet. I still have to figure out a time when I can watch that.
Well, it's like what is it today? Saturday, so it's been out for 2 days. I think it made $20 million so far.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it's having a good
It's gonna
time.
do well.
They're saying it's the best Marvel movie since Endgame.
You know me.
I would have
They're
said
all the
Shang-Chi
same.
was the best Marvel movie since then.
Yeah,
I agree. I think Shang-Chi's one of the better one of the best ones. I like Doctor Strange. I think
did
it's one of
too.
the best ones. Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so funny. Everyone's
Ant-Man's a piece of hot garbage, but hey, you
But
know,
it was fine.
yeah.
It's all the same. It's the same movie.
Well, I guess isn't
They're all
this
just
the,
doing the same sequel.
this is the best movie of Phase 5, I guess.
I
'Cause
guess
Phase 5
so.
started with Ant-Man, right?
That's
Phase 5 was Ant-Man.
No,
Quantumania,
Wakanda
that's
Forever
Phase-
was Phase 5 start or finish. I don't know. They don't tell us
Or
enough.
Phase 6. I don't know what phase we're at. Fuck.
It's just a
Anyways.
rat race they keep us on, right? So there's your weekly watch list, kids. Big Door Prize, Sanctuary, and Russell Crowe in a Vespa.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of knowing what I'll see is the Gladiator.
It's the me on my way to fuck your bitch.
Maximus Aurelius.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained by my exorcism?
And I was.
Jimmy, time is it?
It's debate time.
That's it. Yes, that's correct. It's time.
At my signal, unleash hell.
Push it. Don't push it. I'll give you a war you won't believe.
Goldstein, give me a fat beat to beat my buddy's ass.
I know what kind of guy you were. I never would have agreed to work with you.
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite? What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't catch you. Would you repeat it?
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
And it's our bracket style debate. If you haven't heard one of these before, it's where we take 16 names from
My
a
eyes
topic.
are really closed today.
Want to talk about
I
why
did
they're
an edible
closed?
last night after the show. Sorry, I did a weed edible last night after the show. I got really, really high, and I think it's still in my system.
recovering,
I have,
yeah.
I have
Oh,
like
yeah, that's a
another
10-hour
weed edible
run.
my friend gave me, so I'm gonna take that after the show.
Hey.
Do some cooking. I'm gonna eat some pasta because of all the Italian talk today.
That sounds nice.
I'm
It
making
does.
pasta.
It does.
Anyways,
so
debate
you're-
time.
Yeah, your eyes are open, and we're going to open everybody's eyes to 16 moms because today is the Mother's Day debate.
Yeah.
In honor of all the on-screen moms. And these are the reasons, and these
You
are
got
the
a mom,
moms.
You got a mother figure.
This is part one. We're going to do this probably.
This is for all the moms,
This is
not
for all
just
the
the
moms.
biological moms, but all the moms, the stepmoms. If you're
adopted moms,
yeah. If you've been a mother figure in someone's life, an aunt even.
pet mom, right?
Yep.
I
No,
mean,
that
no,
doesn't
fur babies
count.
don't
That
get,
isn't the
okay.
same.
Mm.
All right, fine. Any mother of
If
a
it
child.
could die and you could move on, it's not the same.
That's very, yeah. If you could stuff it, it's
Giving
not
it
the
a
same.
kid's name doesn't mean it's your child.
Look, meet Steve, our baby. That's a cat. That's a rat. That's not a. That's a science
You're pregnant
project.
with emotion.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, we got 16 moms of our choosing, and no disrespect to any other mom that was forgotten about on
If
screen.
you've got a mom we forgot about that you like, send it in. Let us know.
Read my fucking mind. Yeah, if you want to do that,
That's how
you
this
can-
works.
This how the voicemail line. It's the link in our bio. Head to our.
This isn't the last Mother's Day.
No.
Or is it?
This is kind of ominous. Yeah, link in our bio, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. There is a tab that says leave a voicemail. That's where you get to leave up to 5 minutes of your opinion on this section, and then we'll play it.
Be mad.
Be mad, be upset, be agreeable, be yourself.
Yep.
But leave us a voicemail. We'd love to
Be
play it.
aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be-
So, without further ado, let's start off round number one, which has a Martin pick, has Elaine Miller from Almost Famous, the Professor Mom, versus a audience pick. This is from Claudia Aurelio. This is Charles's better half, who picked Mama Boucher from The Waterboy, which I
Does she have a name? I'm trying to find it now, but
yeah, I don't
oh,
think
Helen.
Helen. Oh, she
Helen,
does.
that's
Okay,
right.
I
Helen
just-
Boucher.
Yeah, Helen Boucher, Baba Boucher's mama, and I have chosen to be her champion.
The
if we're talking-
representative,
yeah,
yeah.
Game of Thrones, right? I will be her champion. And Martin, do you? We didn't decide who should go first.
I'll
You
pick
You'll pick. There you go.
as
Because
judge.
Jimmy as judge. Yes, exactly.
The seeding doesn't actually have anything to do with it, but we got Mom Boucher at the 1 seed and Elaine at the 16 seed. So, Michael, why don't you start us off?
All right, Mom Boucher. What do I remember about Mom Boucher? I mean, Mom Boucher knew everything was better for her baby. I remember that no matter what Bobby did, Mama was always looking out for him. Even if it was foosball, which is the devil, she's you could say she's a helicopter parent, but I would say that she was just someone who really loved her son and knew her son needed to be protected.
Okay.
and just had his best interests in mind, even though it may have been suffocating, one might say, even though it might be a helicopter style parent. She was just a really attentive mom, and she had a fucking donkey. Like, you remember that donkey in the back? Steve, that she played badminton with?
She taught it how to play badminton.
Like, you want to talk about a mom who's dedicated to figuring shit out to keep her son entertained? Learning how to play badminton with a donkey? It's pretty fucking impressive.
It made me want to eat alligator.
Right? And then, like, her knitting and just, like, that home. She had a lovely home. It was a cottage in the middle of the Mississippi.
A snake don't have any paws. But if I had to guess, I'd say that's his knee.
And you know what? Kathy Bates reminds me of my mom. Like, the short gray hair for a minute where she like the very, like not, like,
demanding
fade.
Rewrites.
Yeah, no, just wanted to rewrite my life with her. But no, just a very loving, caring, attentive mother. I don't want to spend too much on her because if she advances to the next round, I need to save something.
We'll cut
in
you
the
there.
chamber.
Then.
Thank you. All right,
Martin.
I just want to say this about Mrs. Boucher.
Mm-hmm.
If the football team did not recruit Bobby, he would have turned into Norman Bates. I'm just gonna say that because my parent and this parent they have very different styles of parenting. Mine is the exact opposite, where she is very trusting with her son. She allows her son to pursue his dreams of becoming a writer, and she gives him that freedom, that trust, where she's like, "Yeah, go." You like what mom especially in the 70s,
60s, 70s.
What kind of mom would be like, you know
Follow
what?
your
I
dreams.
trust you. Go on the road with this rock and roll band. And pursue your dreams of becoming a writer. That's pretty fucking cool.
That's pretty fucking cool.
And it's a true story.
I don't think I have to say anything else. I mean, I don't. There's one clear winner, and I think it's mine.
Can I have a rebuttal, Judge?
You can rebut.
One rebut? Okay.
You may butt.
He is right in that she does let him go, but she does keep a short leash.
What good mother doesn't?
I'm not saying
Exactly.
it's a bad
She
thing.
still cares.
I'm just saying that might have...
I would say the only downside to that, Martin, is very irresponsible to let your son become a writer.
And that too. I want Jimmy's point
Very
too.
irresponsible.
But what I'll say
It's
this.
nice.
What kind of parent don't we just all want our parents to like support our dreams?
Yeah,
like isn't
that's
that
the
the
goal.
best thing?
It
And
is.
that's the
Yeah.
difference between mine and Bobby Boucher's mom.
As much
is
as
like,
I want to eat snake,
he
I think
supports
we're
the
going
dream.
Elaine. Sorry, Mike.
Really? That's
Yep.
fast? Wow. You want to leave some money on the counter when you walk out?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Lets you
Okay.
follow your
All right.
dreams.
All right.
Bobby's mom did not.
All right. Let's start.
And she lied about his father?
Yep.
All right. Mom Boucher loses. Elaine Martin passes on.
All great picks, by the way. Just gonna say, all great picks.
Oh, it's
but
not going to be easy.
It's not gonna be easy.
All right. So next up, we have another crowd pick versus another crowd pick. And it just so happens that one of those crowd picks is the better half of Jimmy, who picked June George from Mean Girls, and Frigga, who is Thor's mother.
Ooh, that's me.
Which is Martin again. So it's Martin arguing
Who
on
picked
behalf
Frigga?
of Chrissy.
Who picked Frigga?
Chrissy, Mark's girlfriend, Chrissy. And Zoe picked June George. So I am judging this one and sitting here. And since Martin has already gone, Jimmy, you have the floor. June George me.
Now, Michael, I'm going to appeal to your sense of being a only child.
Okay, hang on. All right.
Imagine just not only having a parent that comes to your rehearsals, but rehearses with you.
Okay.
Loves you so much that they want to be just like you.
Oh.
Amazing.
Creepy.
Perhaps.
Someone missed their... I will hold. Keep going.
She's rich.
All right. So I'm taken care of. Okay. This
Like,
is the
look at-
complete opposite of my childhood, but go on.
And now maybe it took a life-altering event like getting hit by a bus for Regina to become a better person.
Yeah,
But
sure.
that only means that her mom is now going to become a better person by proxy.
It's a domino effect.
Exactly. And that is where I will stop.
Okay. All right. I dig it. All right. Martin, Frigga, the immortal goddess and stepmother of Thor.
I mean, Jimmy's, yours may be rich, but mine is legit royalty.
That's true.
She's a goddamn queen.
She fucked a
Then
god.
let's say this: all the women today are queens. All the women on the show today are queens that we picked. But
Good save.
Good save.
if we're doing technicalities,
Yeah.
she is legit royalty. What else do we have?
That's all he's got.
No. She is such a great mother that she adopts a kid as well, and she's also a great mother to Loki. Not just Thor, but to Loki.
Thor is that stepmom to Thor, but adopted to Loki. Yeah, he's totally right on that. And
Loki, and she loves Loki, even though he's been a bad boy, and we know how much a bad boy Loki has been. He should have got a couple of spankings. Still, loved him to the very end. Loved him to the very end. Unconditional love.
Can I just say that while Regina George wasn't the best person in school, and maybe she was a bit of a tyrant at the high school, at least she didn't try to become dictator of the mortal plane like Loki.
Wait a minute.
June George's daughter never became that.
Did you mention he was adopted?
She was just a mean girl. Loki was a bad boy.
He was a bad boy. But you know what? The question is, she was still a good mother enough to love her son, even look past the faults. She still, all the bad she did, she still loved him.
He did commit mass murder.
Still loved him.
Okay, so if I'm taking my childhood
one more thing, Michael, I wasn't done, but
sorry.
Here's one appealing to your child side, Martin.
Okay.
Or Martin, Michael.
You're Martin.
I'm Martin. Yes,
are
I'm
you
Martin.
glitching
Sorry,
now?
the edible is still in there somewhere. Michael, she does magic.
Okay.
Fuck.
She can do goddamn magic. What more do you want?
If Regina did magic, June George would figure it out.
Well, no. Okay. So childhood. Do I want to be entertained? Do I want a loving, caring, godlike goddess?
It's just gonna turn you into a dictator.
I mean, it feels very Silver Spoon, but to Martin's point and yours too. I mean, June is rich as fuck. But
I feel like
do I want to be at my soccer game and then all of a sudden my mom's in the net?
Can I say this? Just a funny statement. I feel like if June was your mom, she would sleep in the same bed with you until you were retired.
Another Norman Bates situation.
Another Norman Bates situation.
But not like in a
until you retire.
But June wants her youth back, obvious, until I retire. Yeah.
Why is that the time? Well, you're finally a man.
You can leave the house.
He made it. Mike's a big boy now.
Well, no, I just mean June. June just misses her youth, where like a Norman Bates mom.
Don't we all?
Neither of these women really have the ability to create a murderous, weird kid living in a hotel by himself. But
June can dance.
How do we not have Mrs. Bates on this list, by the way?
Was not a good mom.
That was like me using the dog from John Wick.
Yeah, not a good
You
dog.
could have used any other. There's so many dogs in that franchise. You could have used any of them, Mike.
I know.
And you picked the one.
Dead one.
Tried to go with something new. Okay, I got to pick here. I like the fact that
he's panicking.
No, I like the fact that I could be like, all right, June, let's go for a drink, right? Like she's
mom.
Cool
Wine mom.
She's desperate mom, but she does
Lets
cool
the
things.
kid drink in her basement.
Yeah,
mom.
right. Wears weird tracksuits that all of you would probably be like, she's hot. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So I'm going with June. June passes on this one.
Yeah.
I think there was no integrity behind that pick. That's not my pick, so I mean, it's fine.
Next up on, oh my God, this one's gonna be fun. Next up on the list. So we've eliminated 3 of the 4 audience picks so far.
Yeah.
So now it's back to stuff.
No, June George was not. Oh yeah, I guess
June
2
George.
of the 4.
Yeah, 2. Sorry, 2 of the 4. Yes, my mistake here. So next we're back in house with Jimmy with Peggy Hill.
Hooah, Peggy Hill.
Propane Elaine, propane accessories. Versus the soft, very non-violent Sarah Connor.
He's trying to take a lead. He's trying to take an early lead. Martin, who's going first?
Pick a number. Jimmy, pick
69.
odd or even. Odd or
420.
even. Just say odd or even.
Even.
Odd.
It's odds. Mike, you get to pick if you want to go first or second.
I want to go second.
Okay. Hooah, Peggy Hill. In a household, I'll say this. Hank Hill is a tough dad. He's a strict dad. And I think without Peggy, Bobby would never be able to be the person that he is. He would never be able to even think about trying comedy. He would just be one of those weird, straight-edge military guys who has absolutely no fun. But when you have a mom like Peggy Hill, who will literally, you tell her anything, you say, Mom, I want to be a rodeo clown, she's going to let you become a rodeo clown, and she's not only going to let you, she is going to help you find the resources to do so. She's going to take you to the rodeo, she's going to introduce you to the clowns, and you're going to find a way. And not only that, she's got the feet big enough for the shoes. An incredible mom. Survives falling out of a plane.
I do remember that one.
I don't think there's another mom on this list that has ever done anything like that, any physical feat like that.
No, you're correct. None of these moms are good at hitting the ground at terminal velocity.
Beat that, Mike.
Okay. All right. Well, Sarah Connor.
Hoo-ah,
Connor. Get to the chopper. What does Sarah have? She has, well, I mean, first of all, she's willing to look a nuke in the face for her kid. Talk about self-sacrificing, okay? Can your woman see the future? Can your mom see what's coming? No, mine can. Mine knows what's coming. Something's coming. Right? Skynet's coming. Arnold's coming. You don't need no crystal ball. She knows what's coming. She's been there. She's seen it, right? She saw it in 1 and is now defending him from 2. There is a crazed beast. It's like a mother bear,
right,
with Sarah Connor, but at the same time has the patience to sit in a mental hospital and wait it out until she can tell her son what's really to come. Like she's gone through trial, tribulation, being thought of as crazy, not being believed, to being right all the motherfucking time along.
And not one I told you so.
No, seriously. She didn't stick an AK-47 in anybody's face after that. She was like, come on, let's just go make some weapons in Mexico and take care of this shit.
As many humans as we're going to get.
Right? Like, she's buried in her convictions, and you know, one might say it's selfish that it was all about John Connor, but she really was, John, you need to save the world. Like, she was trying to bring out what she knew John never knew about himself, because he was a little punk played by Eddie Furlong.
Do you think any guys use that as a pickup after Terminator came out? Like, I'm from the future. We need to have this kid now.
Dude, that was American Pie 2, the Shermanator.
You're right.
Or American Pie, remember the Shermanator? That was a big part of that. Sophisticated sex robot sent back in time.
That's very true. And I mean, she's ripped to shit. Like, look at
Strong mom,
right? Those pythons, I tell you, and
I don't want my mom to be in a mental institution for years at a time through my glory years.
But
through my childhood.
It's all for you though. Like, you don't. She's sacrificing her now for your later.
I don't know. He turns out to be a real piece of shit in T3.
He does. Played by Nick.
Yeah, he was in
he was in Bully.
Yep.
Yeah, Nick.
And we just watched him in oh my God, Sean Linden's movie.
Oh, that's right, Hunter.
Hunter.
Yeah.
Damn, Nick something.
Nick, yeah, and he was also in the graphic novel, the film noir, with
Sin City.
Thank you, Sin City. Played the yellow guy in Sin City.
Great actor.
Nick.
Terrible character in T3 though, Mike.
A very terrible character.
Doesn't even stop the
but
apocalypse.
That's T3, not T2.
They knew all about the apocalypse and they still couldn't even stop it. They
Jimmy,
still couldn't stop it, Michael.
Jimmy, can Peggy see the future?
If Peggy would have known about the apocalypse, she would have stopped it.
She would have jumped out of a plane to stop it.
It's like Mark Wahlberg. He would have stopped 9/11 if he was on that plane.
Martin, end this madness.
This is tough. They're both great moms, but they both have a lot of faults.
Peggy
obviously.
Bad choice in men.
Geez, I don't even know who to pick for this one. This is going to be a tough one.
She made Bobby. That's the weakest thing on the planet.
Bobby's funny. He's funny.
God. I got to go. I'm just going to give it to Sarah because she's a single mom. You have to raise the kid on her own. That's the winner.
Yeah, that's
he doesn't stick around.
No. But I mean, he's not a deadbeat dad. He
little.
He died.
Well, he's dead.
He's a deadbeat dad.
He's dead.
He's dead. beat to death.
If he dies,
Dad.
he dies. All right, Sarah Connor it is.
Look at us, each of us with one.
Nice. I like this. This is very democratic. All right, moving on.
Also, Peggy Hill was a little bit racist and
Oh,
can't
boy.
speak Spanish, even
Yeah.
though she is a Spanish teacher.
Substitute.
All right, back at it, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to seats 13 and 4, which again mean nothing. We have Jeannie. Is it Jeannie?
Janine?
Janine Stifler, the MILF. If you, I mean, come on. The MILF of
Name
all
a better
MILFs.
mom.
Name a better mom, seriously. And Aunt May, the adopted mother of Peter Parker. I want Martin to go first.
Good.
I mean, Aunt May. Peter's parents dies.
All the
Her
time.
and Ben adopt him.
Ben dies.
Ben dies. Once again, single mom. Single mom. Has to do it on her own and does a fucking great job. Every iteration of Aunt May is amazing. Like from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Sally Fields in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and then my favorite, Marissa Tomei, the most unexpected Aunt May ever.
She was hottest in
Hottest
Toby.
Aunt May ever.
He was hot as hell. And also, you know what? Allowed Peter to still pursue his
Spider-Man.
dream of becoming Spider-Man, being Spider-Man. Allowed him to do that. Trusted him enough. And even, you know what? Packed his Spidey suit.
That's true.
And gave him a banana because she knows he's going to need the
Potassium,
nutrients and the
yeah.
vitamins to be Spider-Man.
Low blood sugar in a fight is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Aunt May.
Aunt May.
Come on. Not even this is what I love about it. It's like you don't have to give birth to a child to become a mother.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. You could be Madonna and go to Africa and buy 5. In this case,
Did I mention she was single?
Yeah,
she
no.
is single.
So Sally Field played Aunt May, Marissa Tomei. Yeah, like there's a lot of Aunt May on screen.
All iterations were great.
Yeah.
Like she's just such a great character.
I would even say that the Aunt May character is what a lot of other mothers are built off of. Like whenever you're like script writing, I would be like, we want an Aunt May.
Well, I even like the Toby Aunt May where she knows he's Spider-Man and just kind of like hints at it the whole movie. I like that.
Yeah.
Even across the Spider-Verse, Aunt May.
Jennifer Lopez? Isn't she the voice
I remember who
of-
played Aunt May in the Spider-Verse, but like she was like, you know, she knew Peter was Spider-Man and that. She kept all like she knew that she had like the little hidden laboratory in the backyard. Brought all the Spider-Men together in that one Into the Spider-Verse.
She's a spider tamer.
Just saying.
Well, Janine Stifler's rich, so
I love how we rate the moms on screen. Money. She got money. She could be a good mom.
So, and while she's maybe not the best mom to Stifler himself,
We're debating.
maybe she's not the best mom to Stifler himself.
Oh, but she is a good
But
mom.
boy, she is the best MILF to everyone else in that graduating class.
And every boy who was in high school at the time who saw that movie.
And can we get a round of applause for Jennifer Coolidge and her return?
White Lotus, baby.
Yeah, thank you. She has done a wonderful job, and it's nice to have her back. Not that she went anywhere.
She parlayed that character into Legally Blonde, and like
right.
that character has evolved to be like
She was one of Jerry's girlfriends.
I feel like that's where all the
Jerry
stepmom porn
Seinfeld.
comes from
In
now
Seinfeld.
on the internet.
That's right, she was.
She was in Seinfeld.
Sorry, what was that, Martin?
I feel like it's because of her. This is where all the stepmom porn comes from on the internet.
Oh, she has.
Thank you, Martin, for helping me.
It does.
It has caused a whole new wave of disgusting fetishes from pervert men.
It's a hashtag. It's a genre on a Pornhub.
That's incredible.
It jumped off the screen and became part of
made
the ether.
history.
Does that make you the best mother?
Well, hey,
we're arguing the best mom.
The best MILF ever. Mom is the first part of MILF, Martin.
If we were arguing the best
You
MILF,
can't have
I
MILF
think
You can't
without
have
win.
MILF without moms. That's
You
the
know
message
what?
today.
And you know what? She
Marissa
like,
Tomei.
Sure. Yeah.
You don't get to just use Marissa Tomei, though. There's other
Marissa
Aunt Mays.
Tomei.
If you're not going to defend the Toby Aunt May for being hot, then you can't use Marissa Tomei.
Please
Sally
defend the
Fields,
Toby Aunt
pretty
May for
good as
being
well.
honest.
But even then, Marissa Tomei. We get that version.
I want
It's
three
still a version
things.
I can use, Jimmy.
I want 3 things physically that you like about Tobey Maguire's Aunt May.
She looks like she moisturizes a lot.
Okay, that's nice.
Has soft skin. She's got a very, very soothing voice, like a very comforting voice.
All right.
And she also has kind eyes, like all the Aunt May. They have kind eyes.
All right, he did it.
He did.
Not very sexy.
He walked
but...
that tightrope.
Well, who do you think, Mike?
Who do I think?
You played to his Spider-Man side. That's not fair.
Hey, listen, I'm not letting Spider-Man be the reason Aunt May is awesome. The reason Spider-Man is awesome is because of Aunt May's parenting. So it's all on Aunt May's shoulders here, not on Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. Or
especially after Uncle Ben selfishly died. Just
right?
give him the car, you fucking idiot.
Fuck.
Just give him the keys.
Be the better parent.
You don't want this. It's not the time.
You're not ready to cruise around and be cool in New York.
That's right.
Or do I give it to the mom who is responsible for so much genre
and is rich.
Okay, I'm interested in seeing how far you can carry her.
Okay.
So I'm not voting with integrity at all, but Stifler's mom has got it going on. She passes on. I just want to see if you can do 2 rounds.
Can't have MILF without mom.
Boo! That's 2 votes with Mike of no integrity.
I know.
I like this, Michael.
I'm not here to prove anything. I'm just here to have fun. All right. Up next is classic TV mom. And a mom who went to the mattress literally for her son. And that's not an Italian gang reference, ladies and gentlemen. We have Peg Bundy versus Mrs. Gump from Forrest Gump.
Where do you want us to go, Martin?
Who do you want to start?
Pick a number between 1 and 10, Jimmy.
420.
Mike, you can pick if you want to go first or second.
I'll go first on this one. Peg Bundy, everybody's favorite TV cheerleader, who's put up with the crotch itching, shoe selling.
She could do better.
Poke high, football winning
legend.
That woman has an idiot first son. She will have more grandchildren than any other on-screen TV mom because of Kelly. And she has to put up with a degenerate husband who gives her no attention and constantly refers to her promiscuous past from high school. Like,
no pig.
And still.
How was that?
That was really good.
All right.
That was pretty good.
Thank you, Al. But like from someone who constantly gets up and keeps trying through adversity, insults, and just being beaten up by her entire family. Like even her, like the kids don't give her enough credit, right? She's trying to keep it home together.
I think we watched 2 different shows, Michael.
Yeah, I don't know. The food she made them was not good.
Hey, listen, I'm not saying
like cigarettes and the salads.
I think we were watching 2 different shows.
I'm talking about the woman who, even though butted out in her own salad, still tried the next day to make another salad. She didn't let that butt keep her down. And I don't have much for this lady. I mean, she's got a hilarious walk. Like Katie Siegel nailed that character that can't not be talked about. But as for a persona of Peggy Bundy, I also think that like she kept Al in line a little bit, right? Like even though Al was like treating her like a doormat, she knew she knew how to fight back when she needed to. So
they have a very toxic marriage.
The worst example of a happy couple one could imagine. But she's just she's a keener.
You know what I like about the Bundys? They all know how to street fight.
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
And I mean,
they fight dirty.
It's the cheerleader.
Dirty.
It's the cheerleader. The positive energy that she brings from cheering on idiot football players her entire youth life, to bring that into the marriage and the family, and just trying to build with what you got. You can't make bricks without mortar. But
and to that I'll say she does not care about her children's education.
No,
not the way Mama Gump cares about her boys' education.
That's a segue. Yeah, Mama Gump, go, buddy.
What more do I have to say? Sally Field, again, if we're not going to put Sally Field through as Aunt May, how are we not going to put her through now?
That's true.
I can't think of a better mom for Forrest to have. She raised a billionaire.
She's the reason.
She made Forrest into a billionaire by being nice to him. That's all it took. He can do anything you tell him to do.
He can run.
That's
he can pong.
He just has the best mother of all time. I don't know if you can sit and watch Forrest Gump and think that she's not. And she's doing it again. I'm biting off Martin a little as a single mom. Imagine being raised in a house with your mother and then boarding residence. Strange life.
I didn't know that was a part of my childhood. No, you're right. That would suck.
Made a billionaire. He's rich. Boom.
Apple for the food company.
So far,
Mike check.
Money.
Ball game.
So far, money and single moms are the head argument out of all of these.
One's
You know
single
what,
mom
guys?
and she's rich.
I mean, here's what I'm going to say about these two picks. I was looking at the brackets, and this bracket is going to be called the bad mom bracket. Because I want two bad moms to go head to head, so I'm not voting with integrity on best mom.
Yes.
It's just I'm going with Peggy Bundy, and I want to see what happens between Stifler's mom and Peggy Bundy on the bad mom bracket.
We got two Peggies going on, too.
We do. It's a fucking three dudes pegging it all day long.
A lot of pegging.
I want to see what happens. If the bad mom takes it, the bad mom takes it.
That's
God damn you.
fun. I love it. All right, next up on the list is
we should have picked all the moms from Bad Mom.
Yeah, why
Let's
not?
fucking do this.
Yeah. Next we have another crowd pick, and this was a dual pick from two different people. This is from Denise Darling, Doug's wife, and Mark's wife, Chrissy. And they both picked Rose Pendergrast from Easy A, which I'm ashamed to admit I haven't seen, but I have done enough research to know that these two parents, never mind just being a mom, but these two parents are like the shit at parenting in film.
That's right.
Versus Carmela Soprano from The Sopranos. She fell out of the bad mom bracket. She could go on to take on a bad mom if she wins this one based on what happens, but it'll take some work. So anyways, that's me versus Jimmy. So Martin, you're up again. Because Jimmy's taking the flame for Rose.
I'll do
Okay, I'll have Mike, you went first last round. I'll have Jimmy go first this round.
Okay.
Rose Pendergrast. Just the mom that you need to have.
Mm-hmm.
The mom who can joke with you, who can have fun with you, and be a parent. And I will say this. They have a 2-story house.
So they're rich.
Not only rich, Michael. Fantastic parents. They do movie nights together. They have adopted a son. They are adoptive parents as well. I think if you guys had seen Easy A, you would understand that Emma Stone's character goes through quite a high school experience.
Yeah, she's assumed to be. It's the Scarlet Letter.
It's the
essentially.
Scarlet Letter.
Yeah,
exactly. If you know that story.
I know of it. I just don't know.
And she gets her through that time with very little tears, I will mention. For very little tears.
Supportive.
I'm
not helping him. Shutting up.
She does everything that your mom is supposed to do. She nails it.
It's like, from what I read, it's like if you ever need to learn how to be a mom, like if you're expecting, if you're pregnant and you're expecting, take a page out of her playbook.
She listens. She gives lessons. She does everything that your mom is supposed to do.
Floor.
All
right.
Carmela Soprano.
Carm to those who
Chicken Carm.
Carm to those who love her. Carmela Soprano. What? Okay. Fantastic homemaker. Big house, bigger than your house, I think.
I think they might be rich.
They might be rich. She knows what to do with that sanitation money.
Waste
let me tell
management.
you. But she
I'm in construction.
For someone, I don't want to get too deep into Carmela because she's a very, very complex character. But for this round, I'll just use the simple fact that she knows who her husband is, and none of the other moms. We have a Spider-Man mom who understands that her son is a good guy trying to save the world. She's a mom who, in spite of her husband's dark deeds, still manages to be a parent, still manages to keep
her
those
kids are duds.
They're not duds.
They're dud children.
Okay. the fucking the son.
He's a dud.
What's his name?
Who cares?
What?
AJ.
AJ, thank you.
Dud Jr.
AJ and
Anthony Jr.
Anthony Jr. and Mello? No.
Dudette.
Fuck.
Meadow.
That's it. Meadow.
Meadow. Can you say Mount Meadow?
Mount Meadow.
Mount Meadow.
Mount Mellow?
Marshmallow. I think up until when those kids find out what's going on, she shields them. She's a ferocious beast. She understands that, hey, this money's coming from somewhere. Like, she makes peace with it. She understands it. And we'll get more into her because I know she's going to win. But we'll get more into her later. But for right now, I'm just going to say that.
Them kids are duds.
They can be duds all you want. That's fine. They do end up not.
This is about motherhood.
That's what I'm saying, though, is that she protects them until they find out.
Not long enough.
What?
Not long enough, Michael.
That's being married to a gangster.
They don't need to know about the business.
Wake up tomorrow morning and be married to someone who shoots people and says bada bing. Just do that.
I cried when Tony killed Pussy.
I cried when he killed fucking Michael, too. Like, it's the things that Tony does.
You don't disrespect the family.
No, you never step outside the family. And to be a mafia wife, too, I'll say this now. You know, there's the side pieces that she put up with. We're talking about wholesome single moms that aren't being cheated on up until this point. She knows Tony has a side piece.
With
she
his
knows
therapist?
Therapist, Goomba, whatever the fuck you want to call it. There's a that's actually
It's a Goomad, not a Goomba.
Thank
Goomba
you.
was a thing from
as soon as
Mario.
I said that, I was like, that's Mario. A Goomba. Thank you, Martin. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, I'm talking about a mushroom. But
and then her kids, Dud and Dudette.
But again, you can't base all motherhood on raising children. There's still outside factors.
Boo.
The outside factor is there's guns and bodies
Gaba boo.
buried by her husband. Okay? Rose Pendergrass doesn't even know what a gun looks like.
Good.
Yes, she's got this problem, and it's this amazing way that she deals with this problem with Emma Stone's character.
Her kids are excellent.
But
they're smart.
No, they're crushed under the weight of the immense rumors that are going around the school about her. She needs her mom. Okay, those kids aren't great. She's a weak spawn from Rose
Those
Pendergrass.
kids don't need Carmela.
I'm just getting shitty now. But yeah, knowing that Tony has a Gumad and being a part of a crime family, that's way more stress.
Martin.
God, I love Sopranos.
That's why I picked it.
I mean, the other pick just seems too perfect, and when it's too perfect, it's just like there's something there that just doesn't rub me the right way.
This is a bad mom.
I like a little bit of a darkness. You know what I mean? Give me a little of a dark side, a little bit. And you know what? Carmela has the bigger challenge of being a mother. Like, she has more adversity when it comes to raising a mother. It seems like that other family's just like,
but she isn't even rising
but they're just too. There's nothing. I'll say this: they're like it's like a Karen, you know. They just never said no to that family. There's nothing hard happening. It's a very privileged family. Carmela, even though she is Caucasian, she definitely goes through a lot of adversity, a lot of challenge, especially
great baked
with raising the kids and having to deal with the third child. Tony Soprano is the third child in that family.
There it is.
She's raising technically 3 kids.
I didn't even make that point. I think this speaks for itself.
Fine.
Parmesan cheese.
Nice.
Yeah, Carmela, give me Carm all day.
I will sit out this next one, and we are in our last 2 brackets before we get into the semis.
One.
This one's
This is a tough one too. I like both of these picks, man.
Oh my God, I don't want to be voting for this. All right, so we got Kitty Foreman from the '70s show. The '70s or that 70s? Thank you, that '70s show, and one of my favorite hot ass on screen moms on screen, Morticia Addams from the Addams Family. Martin sat out last time. Martin goes first.
Morticia Addams, what can I say? She's born into a very tough family. But even though, like, you look at the Addams on just on the surface, you might be like, oh, why would you pick the Addams and why would you pick Morticia Addams? But if you look deeper, like, she is actually a very, very supportive, caring mother. And she's supportive enough to let her children, explore what they want to be, and she gives them that freedom.
What exactly
And you see
is what
that.
they want to be, Martin?
Yeah, I mean, if
Headless.
Wednesday Addams wants to be a serial
Murdered?
killer, she can be a serial killer and be the best goddamn serial killer ever. But Morticia is supportive of that. And if you've seen the Wednesday show, they really dive into Morticia's character more, which I love, who's played by Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah.
She's great in it.
Yeah.
And the fact that she recognizes that, because like in that one, Wednesday kind of gets expelled from school, and she realizes that, okay, how do I fix this? How do I make my child the best version that she can be without her realizing it? So she sends her to the school that she went to, like a school for, special gifted youths.
Yes, youths.
In that
Two
world.
youths.
Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters.
It is.
I've
It's like
been
the
there.
X-Men school, but for the Addams family. That's what it is.
Not all of us are graduates.
And she sends them there. And you know what? She was right. Wednesday shines. She actually breaks out of her shell. She makes friends. She falls in love. All those things. And I think, like I said, very supportive mom in what her kids want to do.
Okay.
And also, too, I think she's a good, her relationship, her and Gomez is a good relationship, or a good kind of example of a loving marriage. Like they definitely, out of all the years of marriage, they still haven't lost that passion, that fire. And you know what Morticia does that Kitty Foreman doesn't do?
What?
Lock the door. Lock the door.
Jimmy, I think that means
I'll say this.
You.
It's the classic relationship. The hard-ass dad, the mom who's maybe a little bit too nice. But keep in mind that she is not only raising Eric and Eric's sister. She's raising this whole house full of these kids who don't really have homes to go home to and parents to talk to.
Interesting perspective, sir.
Jackie can't really talk to her dad. Her dad is this rich mogul type, and her mom's the same way. They can't have conversations. Fez is living with a foster family and doesn't really relate to them as they're hyper-Christian, and it just doesn't speak to him, obviously. Hyde doesn't have a home to go back to at all, basically, and they end up adopting him because they have to, because it's the right thing to do. She is raising a house full of kids growing up in the 70s, and she is doing a fantastic job of doing so. She is giving them a place to go so they don't get in trouble. The trouble that they get into is barely even trouble at all.
Smoking weed around a basement.
Exactly.
That's the safest thing.
She has him exactly where she wants them to be.
Are you done?
I think so.
Okay. I'll make this short and sweet. This is incredibly tough.
It's a tough pick.
Because there is no more of a supportive mother than Morticia Addams being like, you want to play with the axe? Play with the axe. That is creating a home and an understanding situation where there's no judgment, there's no criticism. You're into the dark world, you're into spirits, you're into killing your brother, what have you. I'm here. I don't judge you. I accept you as is. We'll deal with the cops and the consequences later. But then you also have this full-time mother to all these part-time kids.
Yeah.
That come and go. And in my wildest idea of how this was going to go, I didn't think Kitty had many legs on her.
At least 4.
The way you phrased it, as much as I want to pick Morticia, I have to pick Kitty.
Ka-chow!
I have to. And both arguments are great. They're sound and they're fucking funny as fuck.
And Kitty's doing it buzzed.
What is it, white wine?
She got a buzz on that whole time.
Yeah, whatever it is. I love Morticia and I love Martin's argument for it, but I never thought about that's a mom for 6 other kids.
They bring their problems to her constantly, and they never ask, and they never give anything back to her.
Yeah, I got to pick Kitty. I'm sorry, Marty.
You can't be mad at that. It's Kitty Foreman.
That 70s mom.
Can't be mad at that.
But also at a time, too, the 70s lots of, the 60s and the 70s, a lot of wild things.
Hard time to be a mom.
Hard time to be a mom with segregation and voters' rights and just tons of things going on that are changing society at the time. And they put them all into the show, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh, yeah.
At some point or another, there was gags, but they talked about what was going on of the time with the time's perspective.
One of the funnier characters on the show, too.
Doesn't get
Yeah,
a lot
she makes
of
that. She
yeah.
definitely makes that. Her and Red are the stars of that show.
That's
not-
why they're
not the
back for the
kids.
new one.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
can't.
It's her and Red.
You can't have.
Those are
them
the
without
best
them.
parts of that show.
All right.
Agreed.
Last bracket, first round. We have Mrs. Brisby from The Secrets of Nim versus, you can't say fuck, the mother of the cutest kid in Jerry Maguire, Dorothy Boyd.
I'm not too familiar with either of these, so this is going to be very entertaining for me.
Okay. Well, one of them is are they rats or mice? The Rats of Nim.
They're like a combination. There's a combination of both.
Yeah. But it's a really well. Martin, give him a little bit of the plot so he knows, and for listeners.
So basically,
too.
there's like the story focuses on a family of mice, a single mom. Once again,
Nice.
Basically, what's happening is her son gets sick, and it's moving day, and it finds out like the son has pneumonia, and the son has to stay in bed, resting, warm, and can't move. But there's something that's going to happen to their property, their house, where the humans are going to destroy something. So she has to figure out a way to save her son.
Right.
Kind of to do that. And she also kind of, you wonder if, like, in the animated show, in the movie, the rats are talking. You're wondering, like, oh, okay, so they're just talking. But you find out that the rats are actually hyper-intelligent rats because they were in a laboratory, they were experimented on, and they escaped. And the dad of, or the husband of Mrs. Brisby, like Jonathan Brisby, he's the one who like passes on the smart genes to, like,
it's a pretty cool story, and it's like 80s too, man. It's not
weird.
It's really good. It's a really cool. It's on Amazon Prime. I just rewatched it. It's pretty
really
great.
sweet. Okay, all right. So yeah, give your 2 bits on that one. You go.
Well,
first.
I mean, I think I kind of explained it. I mean, her son is sick. She has to figure out a way to get him out of there because the home is going to be demolished, and she goes through hell and back. Like she travels, she meets like some dangerous people, some mice, and she finds out the secret of everything, the secret of her past. But she eventually ends up saving her son, which is great. If they're able to move, so
It's awesome.
but she's a single mom,
Yeah,
and
it's
also the
nice.
dad isn't in the picture as well. Dad isn't in the picture because the dad is dead. He died. So she's doing this all on her own. She's raising. She has to. It's like she's panicking. She basically
We can
has
also
to.
call this the dead dad bracket.
She has to save her sick son, but also her other children that are also relying on her to kind of guide the way to the next one. And I think she goes on a great adventure. I wouldn't want to spoil it just because of it's a great movie to watch, Jimmy. Just check it out. But she goes on this adventure and she finds that she don't need no man.
No, she don't.
You don't need no man.
Don't need no man.
Very before the time.
Yeah. You've got your mouse animated stuff. You've got your Fievel Goes West, Fievel Goes Home, all that stuff from back then. But this was part of when they were making animated movies about really weird stories.
Okay.
And they're really.
And this is very it's a kids. It's for kids, but it's very adult themed.
Yes.
Is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Well, what do you got, Mike?
I got Dorothy Boyd. I got the one who's coming with them.
Yeah.
If you remember the famous scene from Jerry
I've seen
Maguire,
Jerry Maguire.
who's coming with me? These fish, they're coming with me, right? No, I picked Dorothy Boyd, another single mother. I think we've got a theme, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
But a single mom who is trying very hard to have her life as well as parent, and she's incredibly willful. She's incredibly just like you. When you watch a mother, and a lot of the kids we're talking about are older kids. This is like a toddler in Jerry Maguire. So what you're watching is a mother battle her own issues of wanting her independence and being around a group of single mothers who are constantly talking in her house about a better life, while trying to raise this little boy, while at the same time falling for her boss. Like, you're in this scenario where she's very calculated and she knows what steps to take to protect her child, while at the same time it's a hard navigation for a single mom to work themselves through. I can only speak to what the character is in the movie. I'd have no idea how to express this in real life, but my point is that for someone who doesn't know what they're doing an incredible job of trying to get the little boy, her life, and everybody. She's multitasking. Getting by, right? Like, and there's nothing really epic in the movie, but what it is it's grounded in reality of, like, protecting your son from the new drunk guy who shows up at home because you don't want to expose him to that. And then also, like, taking a risk and starting a new job that has no benefits, right? Like, she's trying to figure it out while the everything's she's up against a wall essentially. And I think it's a really great portrayal of like the sacrifices and the trials of what a mom does for her kid, where everything else is like why the mom's so great. Well, this is like what the mom's going through to try to be great.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there because you're running long.
Can I just say one thing, Jimmy?
Yes.
I have the only diversity pick out of the whole bracket.
Jesus Christ, we're a problem, aren't we? Oh,
Yeah.
dear
Yep.
God.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So just saying, only diversity pick
We did it again.
out of the whole
didn't we?
bracket.
God
Mrs.
damn
Brisbane.
it.
That's okay. That's for part 2 when we learn what part 1
So hold on, your diversity pick is a mouse.
Yep.
God damn it.
inner.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with, I think your moms are very similar. I'm going to go with Martin's because she literally saves her child from death.
She does. And
Yes.
mine says fuck.
Yeah.
So she did a bad job teaching about the swear words. All right, fair enough.
Great moms, though.
Yeah.
Great moms.
This is where it gets tough.
Yep. All right, Mrs. Brisby passes it along.
This is where it's going to start getting tough because we got
Oh, no.
new points.
Oh boy, I'm against myself in one round.
Which, oh, that's funny.
Try so hard to avoid this, listener, but eventually, somehow, some way, we pick an odd amount. We pick an even amount of people, and two of us have to fight each other. So, anyways, first round in the semifinals, we got Martin versus Jimmy.
Let's do it.
On behalf of Zoe, we got June George versus Elaine Miller. Martin, go.
Single mom. Chooses a different, like, she's also like a PhD level professor.
Yes.
Chooses a different way to parent her child in a time where everyone was getting hit with a belt. Am I wrong?
No, you're not. You're just remembering me about the time where I got hit with a belt.
Am I wrong? Like, she
In the rectory.
outside the talk about someone who's a pioneer to how parenting is today. Elaine Miller, pioneer.
Yeah, she was when
No violence on her child. No, not a single piece of violence at all.
we can give them that. It's what I've heard other parents say, where they're like, talk to your kid like a person instead of talking to your kid like they're less than
Exactly.
you.
June George does exactly that. June George talks to her kid like they're their best friend.
Yeah,
Does
but
is your mom's best friend with their kids? No.
while they're doing
June George is best
shots.
friends with her friend's friend. Okay?
Say that 3 times fast.
June George, she has it. She's got that it factor. She had it years ago, and now it's in her daughter. So what I'm saying is she has that dog in her, and she has passed it down, and now her daughter, Regina, has that dog in her, and that's why she is
What kind of dog?
a
What kind
god,
of dog?
like a Rottweiler, Mike. That's why Regina just immediately rose to power, right? Like as soon as she got into high school, she rose to power, and that's because she's been raised a specific way to be royalty.
Can we just call her Karen for the sake of the argument?
Karen George.
Amy
Anything-
Poehler.
Anything else?
Amy Poehler.
Amy,
That's all I have to say.
I know it's Amy Poehler at her best. I just love her in that tracksuit because it's just so off-putting, right? When she's doing the dance
Yep.
and everything, and then bringing in the snacks.
Her boobs are rock hard.
Okay, I like in today's society where parenting is more crucial than anything. I think you need to be a dominating figure to your child while at the same time talking to them like you're a peer when you need to.
Frances McDormand at her finest.
And okay,
You Googled that. I saw you.
I did. I forgot. I was like, is it Frances
I saw
McDormand? I'm
you.
pretty sure it's Frances McDormand.
but I'm just thinking about all of the gateway choices that June would allow to happen in the home, because Regina, if we're going to use Regina as an example,
Better her place than out there, Michael.
what did Regina eat that she didn't Google first? What did she get tricked into eating? That's a byproduct of June. Maybe that was drinking too
I'm
early.
sorry that she made her trustworthy. I'm sorry about that. That she's very trusting. You're right. What a bad mom.
And manipulative and conning and verbally abusive.
Not after she gets hit by that bus.
I'm just saying, maybe June was like, this is my daughter, and this is a bottle of wine. Maybe,
But they could be sisters.
and that's also a genre of porn. Like, I mean, that's not a defense. That's just
I have a theme with my picks.
probably in my Google search. No, I got to go with Elaine on this one, just because I dig the parenting style, and I would love to bring fucking June over. Let's party.
There you go.
Right, but like
Wine mom.
no responsibility. Like, we
Here's my question to you when we're deciding who should go to the next round. Would you want that person to be your mother?
June George is rich, so yeah.
Yeah, she's a 2-story house, man. So like,
At
lots
least.
lots of room to play.
Regina's a god in that school.
All right, so now
Mine's
on.
middle class, and she says she has a PhD.
Pretty huge dick.
She'll drive you to the concert.
We got a badass MILF versus just a badass mom. One can fire a gun and one can fire off a 19-year-old Stifler's friend in 30 seconds. We got Sarah Connor versus Janine Stifler. And Martin, you get to pick.
Sarah Connor doesn't prevent the apocalypse. That was literally... She's been told about it, and she had like 30 years to do something about it, and she still fucking couldn't. She still couldn't get her useless fucking son to stop Skynet. He had so fucking long to do it. He had a cyborg's help and still couldn't fucking do it.
Okay, all right. We're going to go low. I can go low with you. She fucked a child underage.
It's not even like, but it's not like one of her son's friends. Those two hate each other.
It's one of his son's cohorts. They're in the same circle of people. Okay? Like, if you're going to fuck someone your son knows, make sure it's like 10 schools away. Like, I'm not advocating for, this kind of treatment of a young man.
Mom role. Can't have MILF without mom. Got Jennifer Coolidge laid hundreds of times. She said that.
I'm sure. I do not doubt that it extended into her actual life and art became...
I don't think Terminator and Terminator 2 or Terminator 3 especially got anybody laid.
Dude, everything I know about AI, I know about Sarah Connor. Okay? Everything I know about Skynet right now, I know about Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor's...
Well, then prevent it, Mike.
But it's a slow roll, man.
Have a future son and prevent it.
This isn't Junior. I'm not Arnold giving birth. I mean, her inability to communicate without using sex is not good for young men, man. Like, as much as it's great to, like, whack off to.
Look who suddenly cares about the well-being of young men.
Who has MILF in his search history, more than likely. I don't know. Martin, pick a winner.
This is tough.
I like the attack mode now. I like we've proved why, but now we're attacking each other.
Yeah, there was no support of your. It was just attacking the other pick was this round.
We went Trump.
On the one hand, you have Sarah Connor, who I love, but her son does die, so she fails to protect him.
But he's the only one. Dude, you could be the only one. You could be King Arthur in that scenario. You're the only one who can pull the sword. Like.
Yeah, but the son dies. Like, John Connor dies.
But eventually. She prepared him. She got him a fucking Terminator.
Doesn't save the world.
But then you also have Stifler's mom.
Who's got it going on.
Steven Stifler. Like, the product of her motherhood was Steven Stifler, who's like the most toxic male.
Yeah.
But he's their asshole.
Ever.
I know he's their asshole.
Every group's
but
got one.
Ours
is Rob.
Oh, I'm glad he doesn't listen to the show.
He'd probably shake his head. Yeah, you're probably right.
It's tough. Like, I mean, I don't know where to go with this.
Can I say one thing first?
Can we do this?
Sure.
30 seconds, each of you. Give me your final thoughts.
Okay.
Mike, start with you. Go.
I just want to say that Fitz's whole life outlook after being broken by a MILF has left a wake of women devastated by Fitz's choices. He's probably... what she did to that young man, as much as it was a fantasy clincher, it also changed him. And I don't think that's responsible mother material.
I think that just says how good she is. She was able to put him on a different trajectory for life. He had to go out and find meaning now because life and meaning has totally changed. I think that's beautiful. It led him to world travel.
It led him to stealing a motorbike.
That's pretty cool.
It led him to lying.
That's pretty cool.
All of those things that she did, her mother's instinct did not stop her from making that choice.
Stifler didn't do those things.
To his mom, sure.
Stifler's...
You want the complete opposite when you have
Stifler's a well-adjusted adult contributing to society.
Martin, you have to end this.
Oh, my God. I think I got it.
They don't even save the world.
Yeah, I gotta go with Stifler's mom.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just because her child is still alive.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad we're sticking with that.
Yeah, but mine would have changed the course of history.
You just picked yours.
Well, I'm about to pick yours. I just wanted to hover.
Oh, that was they're both fun arguments. So I mean, I gotta go with Stifler's mom.
Okay, I feel that the fair thing to do at this scenario, because I have Peg Bundy and Carmela Soprano both.
No, you're gonna do them both.
No, I'm gonna pick one, and I'll just get the bye, and then the two of you can go. So I'm forced to give one up.
That makes who are you gonna pick?
Well, I'm gonna.
This is bad mom round, Mike. Bad mom round. This is what I wanted.
I'd go Peg.
Okay.
Just because at the end of the day, I think if there's a street fight, I think Peg Bundy could beat Carmela.
I don't know, man. Carmela's pretty fierce. She's remember that AK-47 at the very first episode?
I've seen a lot of fighting experience from Peg Bundy.
I'm not saying that Peg couldn't fight, but I'm saying that Peg would leave her heels on, and Carm would get down to her flats and fuck shit up.
I think that just says that Peg doesn't need to take her heels off to beat the shit out of her.
Well, no, I'm just thinking about faster moves. And
it is Peggy Wanker. She is a wanker.
All right, so I'll pick Carmela for this one. So I will judge the next one and let the two of you come to my bad mom fight. So
this is a tough one.
We move on to Kitty Foreman versus Mrs. Brisby. So we've got a culturally appropriate mouse from an 80s animated movie and Kitty Foreman, who was so elegantly argued by Jimmy.
I don't think I have to say anything else for Kitty. Like, it's...
Well, no, you don't, because we'll let Martin go first.
Fine. It doesn't matter.
Martin, go.
Single mom. Literally risks her own life to save her child.
This sounds like the dog talks. Just like...
Yeah. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? Single mom risks her life, like legit risks her life to save her mom, or save her child. Also, sober. Sober.
Boo.
I mean, it was totally acceptable, though.
Diversity pick.
You're judging an entire... hang on, I'll shut up. I don't want to add to this yet. Anything else, Martin?
That's it. Diversity pick, sober, risks her own life, literally, to save the life of her child.
Kitty not only raises those kids, she keeps Red, a former war veteran in the Korean War, balanced as an adult man. He says he's going to kill people, but he doesn't actually do it, and he never goes over that edge, and I think that's because of Kitty. It's definitely not because of fucking Eric.
No. There's no spine where that jellyfish exists.
I think that she does a fantastic job with the hand that she's been dealt, and they live in a 2-story house and they're rich.
Okay. I would like a rebuttal from Martin and then a rebuttal from you, and then I will make a decision.
Single mom.
I would like a new rebuttal from Martin, and then I will make a decision.
I mean, Kitty is a great mother, but she does, in the end, have the support of Red. They're a team. You know, one person can play the villain while one person plays good cop, bad cop is basically their parent style.
That's very true.
Right?
Yeah.
Mrs. Brisby just has one cop. Mrs. Brisby goes on an adventure to save her children.
Okay. All right. And Kitty?
80s animation sucks.
This one is great, though.
It is.
This one is really good. It's one of those ones where it still holds up today.
It almost got a remake in live action.
You know what did get a remake? That 70s show. If you're going to be making your decisions based on that.
No, I wasn't, but hey, it's your floor.
You know who's back?
Who?
Red and Kitty.
Oh.
Not even the main characters of that 70s show. They thought, these are the best characters that we have, and we're bringing them back again, and they were fucking right.
Secret of NIMH got 2 other movies, so there's up to 3 of them.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of one.
Okay, so we have one who's willing to not sacrifice one life to save all of her children versus one who did it drunk. I'm trying to think bad moms.
This isn't a Sophie's Choice, Michael.
I'm trying to make bad moms out of this. So we have bad mom versus bad mom in the next
My favorite line of Bad Moms was when they said, let's be bad moms.
Yeah, right. Like it's such a
Did
huge
this happen
leap.
during the writer's strike?
Yeah.
Maybe that one just came off the shelf and they didn't dust it. Okay. Like, yeah, I mean, the dying kid. How many kids did she have again, Martin? 3?
I think like three of them, 4.
Kitty's raising
3 or 4.
more.
Kitty is raising more kids, But Kitty's never put in a scenario where she has to choose the life of one versus, just the proper direction of 5 or 6 of them, right? But at the same time,
She saves Steven's life.
at the same
If she doesn't take him in, he goes down a dark path and he probably dies.
But I think he already did that anyways. In the 90s show.
Yeah.
At the same time, I will say that the PTSD of Red and keeping him in check.
That's a tough task.
From the Korean War, because every man I know that
she kept him from killing people
Yeah,
every day.
We all know that anyone who fought in the Korean War in television talks about it as like, we don't talk about the Korean War, right? So, oh man,
that was those last generations of dude that stopped talking about what they experienced in the army.
But that's not really a good mom. That's just a good wife.
But it affects the child and everybody around.
She keeps Eric is able to
There
be
are more,
a little shithead.
If you're a mom, you've got the job of being a mom. And in that scenario, it's argumentative that you can say what it has.
And Red never actually beats Eric.
No.
He threatens to. He threatens to put a foot in an ass, but he never actually hits him. And for the time, pretty damn impressive. And you were using that as a defense for Elaine earlier. And I'll use that as a defense now. Kitty never even threatens to hit anybody.
Kitty Foreman, I'm sorry,
and she
Martin.
keeps Red
Kitty
from
Foreman.
hitting people.
Kitty Foreman. Kitty Foreman.
Don't they have a daughter that doesn't even show up anymore? What happened to the other child,
We don't talk about
Michael?
Lori.
That's what we never considered, the other child.
She came back as a different actor?
What happened to the other child? She just vanished.
We don't talk about Lori.
We are all in the quarterfinal.
Lori's a variable.
That was the quarterfinal. Now we're all in the semifinal.
Exciting.
So first up, I'm judging.
This is a tough one.
Seed 16 versus seed 13. We got Jeanine Stifler from Jimmy versus Elaine Miller from Martin. Jimmy, you go first.
I mean, porn trend. Just Jennifer Coolidge as a person. Like, she seems so wonderful. She lets all those kids have that, not just one party, but multiple parties at that house. And that's just it, Michael.
And hangs out in a room by herself.
Exactly. Isn't bothering them, just stays on her own, lets them have fun. That was always the place to be. I don't know if you guys were cool in high school, but I was. And when you got to go to those house parties, they were always a pretty fucking good time.
You know what? Every house party that I remember as a child.
Give me fucks.
No, every house party I remember when the parents were at, they were like, yeah, just don't be an idiot.
That's all it took.
All right. Any more floor?
I don't think I need any more.
Okay.
They're rich.
No more floor. Floor, Martin?
So rich.
I mean, her parenting style speaks for itself. What could you say? Like, I mean, it's very revolutionary. It's something that wasn't seen as a style at the time. Like, she did outside the box thinking. If you want something with a criteria of a good outside the box thinking, what she does in her parenting style is compromise. And I think compromise is the best thing in a good relationship. And that's the best outcome for everybody, because no one's really upset, but no one's really happy. So you compromise. That's what a compromise is. When she drives, she allows him to go to the rock concert at the very beginning, but drives him. That's the compromise. I have to drive you and pick you up. But you can go to this rock concert where there's going to be drugs, there's going to be alcohol, there's going to be lots of women.
But I'm going to be picking you up after, yeah.
But I'm picking you up after.
Motherfucker.
She does compromise.
Motherfucker didn't even touch on this aspect.
Nope.
2 rounds prior, and I was like,
Saved it.
all right.
That's a good move.
It's unfortunately his winning move, because
she went farther than I thought she would.
She totally went farther than I thought she would for this one. But that's what happens when
she fucked a 17-year-old boy. No, he was 18.
I wanted bad mom bracket at the end.
Honestly, though, like I do appreciate what she's done for the genre of. I'm just kidding.
A legend.
A legend in her own right. She's the reason behind a hashtag. No,
a salute.
Well, that's the first time, like, just giving her like Jennifer Coolidge or Stifler's mom her props is that, that's a genre that we never even knew about until that movie came out.
You didn't even know you were sick degenerates.
Yeah, no, until that movie. Like,
turned me on until it turned me on. And that's customer service, giving me what I want when I don't even have to ask for it.
That's trending on all the on Pornhub. That's one of the number one things trending on Pornhub is stepmom mom shit.
So a salute to you, Jennifer Coolidge.
All jokes aside, Jennifer Coolidge is the shit.
Yep, watch White Lotus. We're glad you're back, not that you went anywhere.
So there is our first finalist.
Exciting.
Elaine Miller by Martin. Now, Martin, you judge. You judge me and Jimmy.
Got it.
Judge Carmela Soprano versus Kitty Foreman.
This
is a boxing match I'd love to see.
I'm going to take a chance in my opening argument. I'm going to say Kitty Foreman can outdrink Carmela.
Wow.
Yep.
Whoa.
I know.
Whoa.
I know.
But the
I'm taking a
Alizette.
chance.
What about the Alizette that they drink, all the time around the family
It's nothing.
dinners?
That's just regular old Italian drinking.
Okay.
What Kitty
Carmela
Foreman
be
does,
sipping on that sacramental communion wine, though.
That's true.
the Foremans go to church.
And I know.
Kitty mixes her drinks with the whole bottle. She makes Red's drinks before he gets home. And what do you think she's doing all day? She's slamming back drinks to help these kids. And I think there's something beautiful about that. Wine Mom's fun. You want the play. I don't know. When do you ever see Carmela's dud kids even bringing other people home? Like, they don't even have friends. Eric's got all these friends and cool people that he brings by all the time.
Sure.
You have them in the basement. They talk movies. You make them cookies and things. It's a nice relationship.
But the show isn't called AJ and Meadow.
Yeah, it certainly isn't, Michael. You're right about that. Because these kids are fucking duds.
What I'm saying is the kids don't matter because what Carla does.
Yeah, that's how Carmela feels.
What Carmela. The thing that what Carm does as a mom is she understands her place in the world of crime once she gets there. She doesn't blitz. She doesn't go for the divorce papers. Okay? As much as Kitty is a great community mom and all of them share her and use her, Kitty's got nothing up against what happens if Carm leaves. So the idea of mothering through crime, murder, a house built on blood and bones from
Red's killed people.
Yeah, but he killed them. He didn't kill them for money.
You don't know that.
He got paid to do it, but he didn't kill them for not paying the fucking juice on a loan. Okay? So like you've got a family being raised in a cyclone of secrets, of just absolute uncertainty because she knows Tony's hiding something.
Sounds pretty scary.
It's insanely scary, and it's not the environment you should raise a child in, but what happens?
Then she raised two irresponsible.
Take these duds that you're throwing around here and compare them to the situation that they're in. For the situation that they're in, they're all sitting at a table at the end of the show having a family dinner. So not all hope is lost. You can take the ending from what you will. I know it's a very debated topic. I don't think he was shot. But what I'm saying is we end with the family going to their favorite restaurant. Meadow shows up all on her own, so she makes an effort to come because she wants to see her mom. Even the episode when Carmela wants to take Meadow out for tea and breaks the barrier down because Meadow's getting too old for that dumb shit.
Yeah.
Right? And like trying to break through to AJ's inability to work with girls and in his father's footsteps, right?
He's
like
a dud.
He's a dud because of Tony, not because of
just
Carm.
give up on him.
Whenever they fight about it, it's always Tony that's the reason the kids are scared. They're not scared because of Carm. And when she sees money in the coffee can or knows a gun is sitting around the house, she knows the kids' upbringing and keeping the family together is what will save her. That's way more mothering in a time of craziness than Kitty ever had to deal
I think that Michael says a lot of words and tries to distract you by speaking for 5 uninterrupted minutes.
It's called a filibuster. Want to get going?
Right.
Get going.
Jimmy, give me 30 seconds, sum it up, and then Michael, after that, you 30 seconds, sum it up.
I'll try.
Never any fear that anyone's going to die in Kitty Foreman's house.
Yeah, very true.
The children don't have to worry about if they're going to die every day or if their dad's going to come home or, I don't know. That just truly sounds like a nightmare, the idea of motherhood that you've pitched. I feel bad for Carmela.
I feel bad for her too, but
I would say if you have anything left in the pocket, guys, don't hold back. Because the last round, we're just going to sum up everything and try to compare.
Yeah.
So don't hold back.
So, all right, fair enough. Carm is being cheated on. And still, throughout all of her pride and disrespect, has the wherewithal to mother through.
Girl, stand up for yourself.
It's of the time, man. It's of the lifestyle.
It was 2002.
Well, no, but yeah.
Kitty's from the 70s. You want to talk about the time and sticking with your man? She stuck with her man after a war, Michael, and raised children with him and bought a home with him, and they have genuine love for each other.
And mine is constantly fighting one that she's involved in.
And that's unfortunate for her, but it doesn't make her a good mother.
It makes her a stronger mother. It makes her a mother who knows.
A strong mother would get her children out of there.
Well, but at what risk? There's no
point.
divorce in Catholic Italian families. There's no way of leaving.
Yes, there is.
It's okay, not fucking witness protection.
You think all these Catholic moms just they're like, I don't know. I can't get a divorce unless he says yes.
From New York.
New Jersey, whatever.
Whatever, yeah, through the turnpike. Yeah, no, you've got it's constant anxiety in that house, and she is.
I agree.
She is the sail that keeps them.
It's not a place to raise children.
I know there's not a place to raise children.
That's why they're duds. Martin?
I'm going this way just because there was something that I was looking for that no one mentioned.
Oh.
That someone didn't mention.
They're both hot.
No. Anyways. But this is how I'll say it after, but this is how I'll argue it. Let's look at the end result.
Okay.
90 show, Stephen Hyde is probably in jail.
They don't say anything.
Probably in jail. That's what you assume.
Listen to the judge.
Kitty's daughter? What the fuck happened to her?
She was written out of the show.
What the fuck happened to her?
That's not a Kitty's fault. That's just the writers.
But I mean, I gotta give it to Mike's point. Like I think, it's tough. To Mike's point, I think Carmela did have the harder time of raising kids, and in the end result was
it'd be
her
different
kids
if
did turn out fine. AJ did get his life together. He got a job as in event planning.
Yep.
Which is what he was always good at. His strength was always partying. So how do we put that into his strength? Event planning. Meadow
goes to
becomes
university.
a lawyer, like a full-fledged lawyer.
They
so,
had
and they come together at the end.
You guys talk about them like they're this disadvantaged family living in the ghetto.
The three of them are involved in something that none of them had a choice in.
They can literally do anything they want because of the position their family is in and the money they have.
Yes.
All of them could have went to college and got excellent careers. Very
Jimmy, I'm
easily.
picking Carmela because you missed.
Eric
Jimmy,
did get into college on his own.
Let me just say, Jimmy, I'm only picking Carmela because you missed one huge piece.
What is
that you did not mention? Kitty's a fucking nurse.
That's true.
She raised those kids with a full-time job.
Yeah, you're right.
And you never mentioned that, and that's why I'm not picking you, because that's a huge part of the argument. You should have mentioned that.
I just think that
you should have mentioned
Carmela Soprano because of all these adversities, but they aren't actually adversities, and the kids didn't have to deal with any of that. They got to do whatever they wanted. AJ got to party and turn that into a career because they have the means to do so. It had nothing to do with the parenting.
But those means are
ill-gotten. But you get a really good, you get a really graphic look at what a North American family is. Like a really, really dark look, like a real look of this North American family.
Yeah. To what you're saying, though, Jimmy, Carmela knows that it's ill-gotten. Carmela knows it's stolen, cheated, or whatever. It's not made in the proper way. There is no security, and that's what she's doing. She's working with no security. Yes, you're saying the end result is privilege and being able to do all these things, but Meadow's tuition could be ripped out as soon as Tony goes to jail.
You guys probably think billionaires are having a hard time and that they're lonely.
No. I'm not. Take away the money from the aspect. Whether or not there was money to be able to do it, we could say whatever successful outcomes Meadow and AJ have, those are part of the story. Those are things that were written into their characters. But what Martin's saying, I think, is they succeeded despite the constant
I think they would have
hurricane.
done it with whoever was their mother.
I don't know.
I think you insert Kitty Foreman into that position, those kids turn out better.
Veal Parmesan is the fucking shit, man. Anyways, all right, Jimmy, you get to vote. You get to
good.
You get to pick who wins.
I wonder who I'm gonna go with, Michael.
Let's pick Carmela Soprano for the final.
Fuck no. We are absolutely not, because I do not agree with the last round, and I knew I would be angry again. I don't even want to pick Elaine Miller. I think this is wrong. I think you guys do this purposely to me every time. We pick terrible fucking dogs. And somehow the mom bracket has ended up worse than the dog bracket.
On the positives of your pick, Jimmy, Stifler's mom made it way further than she should have.
Oh, God.
We gave you a long leash with that one.
You carried
a
her.
long leash, Jimmy.
You
a
almost brought her
leash.
across the finish line. Man.
Elaine Miller wins. Based on sheer motherhood and ability.
Yes, I agree. If we're just
I hate the brackets.
I mean, I don't know. Okay, what could I have said? I could have said, all right, so Carmela, we've already talked about being cheated on. We've already talked about the atmosphere that she works in. She still does what she wants to do for herself, actually. Like, she does go out. She's like, you know what? If this is what if this is what I'm going to put up with, I'm going to make it benefit me. And she figures out how to work with the system, right? She doesn't like it. She doesn't agree with it. She wants to go to church, but she buries her morals in the sand a little bit. And she's like, all right, fine. If this is the life I have to live, then let me get mine. That's maybe what I would have said. Martin, what would you have said?
Just reiterate what I said. I mean, her parenting style is great. It's compromise. Compromise is a good parenting style. Speaking to her child like an actual person.
Well,
not as a child.
She has a PhD too.
And she's single. She's PhD psychology. And you know what? She doesn't hit her child. Carmela slaps AJ.
He fucking deserves it. That kid's a dud.
That's right. She does slap AJ. And beating your child is wrong always. Elaine Miller.
Unless he's a dud.
Fuck you, 8AJ.
Jimmy, I would have picked Kitty if you see. The thing is, like, you had to say that one important thing that you never mentioned. I would have picked Kitty, but you never mentioned it, and I was waiting for it. And as a judge, I'm like, well, there's so much more ammunition you can use for Kitty. I get it. She raised these kids, but she's also raising them as a full-time worker. Like, she works full-time. There's a portion of the show where Rem got laid off, and she was the one who had to work.
The wrong mom won today. And you guys have to live with that, not me. When we get the hate mail, I don't want it directed at me.
Elaine Miller won. That was a good choice.
That was a great choice. I agree. Frances McDormand, powerhouse actress. Like, all the things point to yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad it almost didn't go the right way, but did in the end.
Pissed.
So I said top of the show that we should tell listener maybe a moment in our lives with our moms where they did something movie terrific and or embarrassed you or whatever. Some sort of movie story about your mom that you could share. Martin, yours was 3, and you said she fought for you. Care to tell us?
I got into a fight.
As a 3-year-old?
As a 3-year-old.
What were you arguing about?
Pacifiers?
So I just moved from the Philippines to the U.S., California. I didn't speak very good English. And we were out. I can't remember where. I think we were in Santa Barbara because we were just vacationing as a family.
For what it's worth, Martin, I didn't speak very good English at 3.
I didn't speak. I don't think I spoke any English at 3. Like, I was all speaking Tagalog.
Yeah.
So basically, we were out, and then there was these 2 kids. One was like my age, and then the other one was like probably 5 or 6. 2 brothers. They were trying to talk to me, but I didn't speak any English, so they kept like making fun of me because I couldn't speak English.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't take it. The kid was like doing, you know, that chicken, when you do that chicken thing? He kept doing that because he thought I was too afraid to speak. So what I did was the 6-year-old, the bigger one, I fucking decked him right in the nose. He went crying to his mom. He was a white kid, by the way.
Good.
He went crying to his mom. And then the mom comes up to my mom, and then my mom just looks at him and is like, what? The kid was bullying my kid.
Yeah, what do you expect?
What do you expect me to fucking do about this? Yeah,
and
totally.
then the other mom just walked away, didn't say anything.
Yeah, I think
Mom went total gangster. She's like, oh man, that's a pretty fucking cool story.
I like that you punched the bigger one too.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Oh yeah, fuck that. I punched the biggest guy in prison, and no one will.
You
fuck
knew
with
that
me.
at 3.
Yeah,
that's L.A. raising for you right there.
Yeah.
Mine, I was like 14. I just sprained my ankle. And it's also based on.
This was a couple of years ago. He's lying.
No, no.
Was it in Vegas?
No, it was not in Vegas. It was. I sprained my ankle in the basketball game, and someone said that I was talking trash about somebody. I think that the
Were
scenario.
you?
No, I wasn't. Honestly, I wasn't. It was very.
You weren't shaking and baking like Kevin Bacon and talking some smack?
He
No.
was talking smack.
No. It was. I wasn't even there at the event in question. But while I was healing up, everybody started chatting, and then this guy was like, "I'm going to kick the shit out of him." So my mom had to drive me to school because I had sprained my ankle. So I walked into the playground, and guy comes up to me and starts giving me 4, and I'm on crutches.
Yeah,
and,
what the fuck?
and like he's about to swing at me, and like I'm of the impression that my mom left.
Yeah.
And
Like, I'm on my own now.
Yeah, but she went and waited in the McDonald's parking lot across the street and stood there.
John Pritchard.
Ooh.
And came over in her red coat and broke up the fight in front of about 200 kids. Said, there will be no fighting. You go away. You come with me. And then she took me over to McDonald's, and I was like, I can't go back to school
Ever again, yeah.
What did you just fucking do? And she was like, I was protecting. I was like, you weren't protecting me. You just made everything worse.
Now I'm the biggest target ever.
Right? Like now I'm the guy whose mom fights for him after he sprains his fucking ankle. But like, I mean, looking back, it's obviously what you do for love and all that stuff. But like,
She's not gonna watch you get your ass
Yeah, you're
kicked
not
on
gonna watch your
road.
ass kicked, man.
right? But like,
Especially with a sprained ankle, Mike, you're fighting on a deficit.
yeah, I'm
Oh, he was fine at that point. He was just doing it for sympathy.
pretty much, yeah, it's swelling a
He
gun
did
down.
like an Italian soccer player dive.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so like that's like, to me, that's like a movie moment where like your mom embarrasses the shit out of you.
It always happens at least once.
Yeah. What about you?
Jimmy, what do you got for us?
Well, when I used to, anytime I was at home and my mom would kick me in the ass anytime I bent over to pick anything up. Just a fun thing. Like, I had some friends over one day, and I was maybe like 15, 16, and I bent over to pick something up, and she kicked too low and just hoofed me right in the nuts, right in front of my friend. And they didn't know the context that this is something that she always does. So they just saw my mom, 5'2" woman, walk up and just kick me in the nuts for no reason from behind.
That's hilarious.
And they're like, oh, this is what happens when Jimmy does anything wrong.
I gotta meet your mom one day.
Oh my god, that's so
See,
awesome.
It was just
you
like a
can tell
fun
me that
thing.
now.
She just, I don't know, because she usually, like, you kick like a soccer ball, like with the side of your foot, and she'd kick me in the ass. But she just went full foot real low.
Dude, your mom wins today.
Yeah, I don't know what she did
Yeah,
on
that's dope. I want to meet this lady.
Your mom
that
wins the
third-
debate. Your
Jimmy
mom
Skinner the
wins the
third.
bracket. That's amazing that she.
It's
kicked
why
you
I
in the
don't have an
balls.
ass now. Fully kicked in.
Oh shit, that's funny. All right.
Dude, your mom kicked your ass.
Every day.
Seriously.
Every day.
Well, listener, thank you for
That was a
tuning
fun
in.
one.
That was a lot of fun.
I'm still mad.
That was fun.
I know. That's fine. We can talk.
It's 4:20.
Yeah, probably it's perfect time.
Ooh, I'm gonna take that edible now.
There you go.
Start
Take the other
cooking
half
some
of it.
pasta. I gotta eat some pasta. I got some Italian
Yeah, I'm
sausage and some
I'm starving. Yeah, we're gonna let you go,
tomatoes and some
listener.
onions, lots of garlic.
If this is
Ooh,
your first
some penne.
if this is your first time, listener, subscribe, like, follow wherever you're listening to us.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the podcast. That's the
That's
free.
the best thing you can do.
It is. It's free. It's cheap. It's easy. And if you like us, then there's it only benefits you a lot more than it benefits us. Actually, that's a lie.
Keep an eye out for us. Movies in the park, movies all over the city kind of thing.
Yeah, follow us on our Instagram page because that's where everything is. And if we're doing
Don't want to miss out.
movies in the park, like Jimmy said, this summer, if we're showing a movie somewhere, if we're going to do a talk somewhere,
We've got things planned. It's going to be a nice summer.
It's going to be stellar. We're going to do outside podcasts on the deck this year.
Yep. Oh, fun.
So, listener, you can listen to some birdies
Like
and
Pete Davidson and John Bernthal.
Exactly, but just not as much production.
Why do they
value.
got to dress the same?
Right?
That's what.
In toques, nonetheless. Like that was weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow us: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. The Reel Debaters Podcast on Facebook, Reel Debaters Pod on Instagram and Twitter. That's the REE spelling of it all. And RD Podcast Shorts is on YouTube at RD Podcast Shorts. The Reel Debaters Podcast. Search either or. That's where our clips are. So if you just
If you've
want
got that attention span.
yeah, it's built for a minute. I don't know.
Perfect clips.
Go look, and then maybe that'll sex you into wanting to listen to us a little bit more. Besides that, I've been Carmela Soprano.
Fuck you.
Ooh. What's wrong, kitty?
Fuck you.
Out in Vancouver?
Jesus Christ. I have been. My son has been kidnapped by rock stars.
Watch all the movies, kids. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, listener.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies.